This episode of the CMS Network is brought to you by our sponsor, Blackout Coffee. If you are a coffee lover, you will love what they are selling over at Blackout Coffee. Make sure you get yourself some. The only thing woke about this company is the drinker of the coffee, because it gives you quite a jolt. I am a personal fan of the Brutal Awakening Dark Roast, but everybody's a little bit different. Make sure you get what is your favorite today. Go to blackoutcoffee.com. Use the promo code CHRIA20 to save 20% on your first order. It's that simple. So one more time, blackoutcoffee.com. That is the link, or use the full link if you're going to shop around. That is scrolling on the bottom, and get yourself some of the best coffee that is out there today. blackoutcoffee.com.
Hello, my name is Jesper. I'm from DAD, and you've tuned in on this CMS TV.
And what the fuck is going on, everybody? It is Chris Akin, and it is the special edition of the Classic Metal Show. Special because there's no Neely, I guess. Neely, of course, is out in... I'm not sure where he is. Dude, what is that noise? Is that you breathing?
What? It shouldn't
God
be.
Damn. Turn your mic down a little bit. You are fucking screaming loud. Holy fuck.
I have not touched it.
All I hear is...
All right, how are we doing?
There we go. That's better. Anyway, Neely is in... I'm not sure where he is. He's in... I know he's either in Vegas, or he's in Texas, or he's somewhere with the Dockin' Boys. Big shock there. I know he sent me video of him driving race cars and shit. So he is out doing that. But as a rare occasion these days, I figured it was time for me and John to have a drinking show, and just kind of, shoot the shit and give you guys a few hours. And I ain't gonna promise you it's gonna be till 3, but it'll be for a while. So, Jon Drake, welcome back to the co-host chair, to chair number 2, my friend.
Thanks for having me, dude. Let me know if my mic needs to be adjusted. But first and foremost, God, yes. I hate to do this right off the rip. Got to thank Steph. I laid down to take a nap about an hour and a half ago, and hit snooze a few times. And literally 2 minutes ago, she's shaking me awake. Like, aren't you supposed to be on there? I'm like, yes. I have my alarm set for 8:50. It went off once. She goes, it's 5 after 9. I'm like, ah. So I jumped up, threw my hat on, and chugged a 5-hour energy and put some eye drops in, and off we go, motherfucker. So
I know. Yep. I was texting. I was like, okay, dude, this one and one more. Then I threw you another text, 2 minutes, and still nothing on the screen. I was like, what the fuck? I was like, this is going to be a long fucking night if I'm doing this solo all of a sudden.
Well, I'm well rested, so that's the good thing. So there we go.
Well, there you go. Well, I am drinking tonight, which is something I have not done in a while. I've got my Miller Lite and my Pissing Razors what do you call this? Koozie?
Koozie, yep.
Pissing Razors koozie here. I'm drinking a little bit of beer. I was supposed to be doing gummies today.
Yes.
And I will tell you, I did go out to get some gummies today. I go out, there's a place in the next town over from me, Bedford. So I called the place up. I made sure they were open. And I was like, yes, I'm going to go and get me some fucking gummies, right? I go in this place. It's gorgeous. It's gorgeous. I'm like, all right. And they're selling. When I get to the end of this, you'll understand. I could have spent hundreds of dollars in this place.
Right.
Because they got all kinds of, the pot cookies, the pot energy bars or D-energy bars or whatever you call them.
D-energy, yes.
They've got the vape stuff. They've got straight up weed. They've got gummies, anything you could want.
Right.
So I was like, all right. So I start talking to the guy, and I say to him, give me something that's pretty strong but won't completely knock me on my ass. And he's like, well, what are you planning to do? Are you having a party? What are you doing? And I told him what I was doing, and he's like, okay, well, you should take these. And I was like, well, the last time I had gummies, which was a while ago,
Okay.
I was like, they didn't taste good. I want something that tastes a little better so I don't hate eating this shit. And he's like, okay, well, take these. These are sweet and sour gummies, right? And I was like, okay, then now we're talking. Now we're talking about something I can get into. So he gives me the bag of gummies. It was, I don't know what, just a little small bag. It was $18. Okay. Throw in my credit card. Sorry, sir. Cash only.
What?
I'm like, are you fucking kidding me? So I go find an ATM machine and realize that I do not know my PIN number.
How is that possible?
Because I never use it. I never leave home. So, like, using the PIN... Dude, honestly, the last time I went to an ATM machine, probably a decade ago. I just don't use them.
But don't you have like a PIN number that is standard for everything? I mean, I
used to.
Granted, it's dumb, but I mean...
I used to, but I just recently got new bank cards because we switched banks with Pinball PA, so I was also switching banks with Akin IT.
Okay.
And apparently the new cards I did not set up with the old PIN. Believe me, I tried. I tried the old PIN and it said, nope, that ain't it. Then I tried my social. Then I tried my ex's social. I tried all the different things that I might use. None of them worked. And I was like right on the verge of it eating my card. And I was like, nah, fuck. So long story short, no gummies for Chris today. Over $18 stupid.
Wow.
I was not happy because I really did play. And you talked to me earlier in the day. I had actually told you, I'm going to go get them. I'm going to go take care of this. And I went and nothing.
Wow.
So I grabbed a 12 pack of Miller Lights and that'll do.
Wow. 12 Miller Lights for you. That's wow. Slow down there, buddy. Slow down. Oh my goodness.
Demon hit it on the head. I cock blocked my own buzz.
Right.
That is so true.
Well, how about the fact that like weed is finally legal, but you had to buy it the same way you always had to do it. Cash under the table, no credit, no plastic.
Dude, how about this as a sad state of affairs for me personally? How long has weed been legal now? 2 months, 3 months?
Something like that, yeah.
This is my first time going.
Really?
This is my first time. Otherwise, I would have known it was cash only. It's one town over. You would think I would go there before I'd go to the grocery store.
Right.
You would think I would have lost 100 pounds from smoking weed at this point, but no, I just haven't gotten... I will, though, because after seeing all the goodies they got over there, yeah, I'm gonna stay stoned most of the day, especially because I hate my job. I hate right now I had to pick up a lot of web work these days, and I
to make $18.
Yeah, to make $18, exactly right. But I had to pick up a bunch of web work because everything else, Pinball PA has been slow, Starving Artist has been super slow. Everything's been really slow. So I had to revert back to the one that I don't love doing, which is building websites. I mean, I'll do it. I'm good at it, but I don't love doing it. And boy, though, the thought of just being high doing it, now we're talking. Just putting on some weirdo music or something, some, mindless self-indulgence or Pink Floyd or something like that, and Dog Fashion Disco or something, just have that shit playing all day, some kind of weird fucked up music. Right. While I sit there going, oh yeah, fucking header graphic, laughing my ass off like a dick. This is fucking great.
Programming the site, dude. I have to admit, now that it's legal, part of me wants to like at least get a gummy or something, like just to see what happens, because so my stepdaughter, as you know, lives here, and her boyfriend's with us. Yeah. And now that it's legal, like I mean, just the other day, like I'm so naive to everything. I was outside grilling and I look over and there's a Mountain Dew can sitting next to our sectional, outside on the deck. I'm like, who the hell left the pop can over there? Like, and then I was like, why the hell is there a hole in the side of this? Who would leave that here? I pick it up. I'm like, oh shit. Yeah. All right. So I guess he's smoking outside. And I was like, I started thinking, I was like, wonder if I should try that again, because you actually were one of the few people that have been around. The only time I've quote unquote done drugs my entire life, my 41st birthday party. And it was, I want to see if like something that is like actually produced professionally is going to be as strong as the weed pill that I got from my best buddy Dave, because that one, as you are very aware, knocked me on my fucking ass. Dude, fell asleep like I was in a coma for 4 solid hours.
Well, you're not even telling the story right. Not only did you fall asleep, you fell asleep on your kitchen floor during a party.
Oh yes, I did.
Let's not draw it like, oh well, I went to bed and took a nap. No,
my own birthday party too. Yeah. Well, dude, this memory is so vivid for me. Like, I was outside grilling, and I had been drinking already. Go figure.
Yeah.
And I was like, all right, like I'm gonna eat this weed pill, because I mean, honestly, the genesis of this was my wedding.
Right.
Like, my older brother used to be a huge pothead, dude, and he made scotchies. He made his own pot butter and shit, and made cookies and shit. And he was supposed to bring me a cookie, and I was gonna eat a pot cookie for my wedding reception and shit, and get stoned with my brother or whatever. Just once, I'm not, me, I'm not drug guy. I'll fucking drink anybody under the table, but anything with drugs,
most anybody.
Yeah, well, I have drank you under the table occasionally. It hasn't happened often, but it has happened.
I was gonna say once or twice, maybe.
Yeah, but what a badge of honor. But and so I was supposed to do it, for my wedding reception, and it didn't happen. So I'd always thought, like, man, just once I'm gonna smoke weed or do something. And I hate smoke. I hate fire, like, in front of my face. What the fuck ever. And my buddy Dave made these fucking pills. So he came over for that party and gave me one. And so, man, I will always remember this. I'm outside grilling at our old place, and I had already been drinking, and I was like, all right, I'm making burgers and shit. I eat this pill, whatever. And I call my brother, and I'm like, all right, dude, I just did a weed pill, like, the compressed oil and shit like that. Like, what's going to happen? He goes, all right, well, have you been drinking? And I was like, well, you've known me my whole life. Of course I'm fucking drinking. He goes, oh, you'll be dead asleep in 90 minutes. I was like, what? That's no good. So I was like, God damn it. So I go inside, and I'm standing there in the kitchen, and I'm watching, I'm looking at my watch, checking my phone. It hits 90 minutes, and I'm like, oh, I feel fine, dude. 15 minutes later, I'm like, dude, what the fuck?
Nothing.
So it was like an hour and 45. Literally 5 minutes later, I'm in mid-conversation. I'm standing at my kitchen sink, and all of a sudden, it was like flipping a light switch. I got so tired that literally, again, this is one of my most vivid memories. Internally, my brain goes, okay, you're going to sleep. If you don't lay down on the floor right the fuck now, you're going to fall asleep standing up and smash your head on the counter. And I literally laid down on the ground and was in a fucking coma. I was that tired. Oh, dude, I was done. And I remember waking up, and I'm like, oh, fuck, man, what the hell? I'm like, man, there were so many people there. I was like, I couldn't wait to do the karaoke on the PA that I had set up. And you remember my old place was just a fucking bachelor pad. I was like, I want a karaoke. I'm going to have some beers and some shots. I wake up, and there's like fucking 5 or 10 people. I'm like, where the hell is everybody? And you guys are like, dude, it's like 2:30 in the fucking morning. You have been like basically like in a medically induced coma for the last 4 hours. I was like, God damn it, I missed my own party because of fucking weed. So like,
well, and this is one time you can really fucking thank Stephanie for you not getting fucked with, because as soon as you were out, we couldn't wake you up. Like, Steph was like, help me get him to bed, and I was like trying to wake you up because I wasn't gonna pick you up.
Right.
I was like, I'll drag you if I have to, but But and it was me and Mikey, your friend Mikey, my friend Mikey, our friend.
I was going to say our friend Mikey.
Our friend Mikey.
Yep.
And we were going to do it, and then immediately Mikey and I had the same idea at the same time. We were like, Steph, we need some fucking markers. We immediately were like, we need some fucking markers, because we were just going to fucking color you. You know, we were going to absolutely color you with every dick we could draw all over your fucking face and belly and whatever. You know, we were going to fucking totally fight. And she wouldn't give them to us. She's like, no, I don't want to do that. I don't want to see that for the next week. And he's got to go to work. And
See, you guys are fucking lucky because, like, that is the only thing that I fucking hate. Like, I don't mind, like, messing with people when they're drunk and shit, but for some reason, the here's the permanent marker on your face thing. Like, dude, you and Mikey, I would have. There would have been hell to pay for that. I would have gotten you guys back like you have like no idea how much I would have gotten you guys back. So only time I would fucking retaliate would be something like that.
Yeah, we could have shaved your eyebrows or something. That could have been good too.
See, that I would take. Honestly, that I would take because I go to work and they'd be like, what the hell happened to you? I'm like, oh man, I fell asleep at my own birthday party. They shaved my. But if I've got to go to work and there's like fucking cocks on my face and shit, I'd be like, oh, you fucks are in for it, you goddamn sons of bitches. Like,
you absolutely would be calling off on Monday and looking for some kind of fucking nail polish remover to rub on your face or some shit to get the shit off.
Imagine that call. Hey, I'm not gonna be able to make it in today. In fact, the rest of the week. Are you feeling all right? Oh no, I feel great. I just, I don't think, going into a sales call with I don't know, penises all over my goddamn left cheek looks very professional.
Literal nuts on the chin.
Right. Right. Yeah, dude. I'm telling you, like I've done, man, oh man, I've done some heinous fucking shit. Like drunk, like with my buddies, like we have battles, like who can out fuck with the other one,
right?
But it's never been with the markers and stuff like that, dude. Like, I mean, just like horrible shit to each other, but never something like with a permanent marker on the face. To me, that's crossing a line. It's like, come on, man, like you could come back from like teabagging each other, or whatever the fuck.
No, see, I'd rather have a marker all over my face than be teabagged.
But okay. It was a bad example, but you know what I mean? Like, if you wake up like, hey, man, I had my balls on your forehead, you're like, oh, you gross motherfucker. But you could still go to the grocery store the next day. You could go to work the next day. But if you've got like a fucking giant fucking wang like coming off of your forehead to your cheek or something, like drawing pictures and shit, like you can't go out, you can't do things like.
I don't know. I was pretty fucking mad at you when you put a picture of your balls on my Facebook page. And I got my page and all my business pages suspended for a month.
Okay, so all right, I always feel bad laughing at that.
I don't. It's funny now, but at the time I was fucking furious.
I think the only thing that saved me from a severe beating was the fact that I honestly didn't know.
Yeah,
like because you know me. If I'd have known that would have fucked with all of your business pages.
Well, not mine either. It was like customer pages. That was
yes.
Just to set this up. I think this might have been the same party, actually.
No, it wasn't. It was it? It was a whole different time. And I will never forget.
We did a lot of drinking at your place. Jesus Christ.
Yeah, we did. Yes, we did. But anyway, yeah, set this up because I always feel bad laughing at it, but it's so funny. I'm so sorry, man. What a dick move.
It don't matter. I didn't lose any customers.
Thank God. Yeah.
Go ahead. You tell your piece, and then I'll tell what happened.
Well, I just remember you had crashed the night.
Yeah.
And I think it was only me, you, Steph, and AJ, and we had just fucking got twisted the night before as we had an awesome night. And I woke up still drunk as I think we all did too. and you were in the other room. This was at the old place where it was the small apartment, the big apartment, and everything. Yeah. And you guys were in the living room, and I saw your phone, and I was like, ha ha ha! It'd be so funny if I just like took a picture of my nuts and set it as his profile picture on Facebook. So I'm like, okay, that's very funny. So whip out the the yam bag and take a picture, set your profile picture.
Yeah.
Having no idea that it did it to all of your pages. And when you grabbed your phone, you're like, what the fuck? I'm like, laughing my ass off. And you're like, God damn it, you motherfucker. I'm like, what? And you were like, this goes to all of my pages and like all my professional pages. And I was like, oh, fuck, now it's not funny.
I just remember I grabbed my phone when I finally came to. And, like you always do, you just open up Facebook and see what's going on or whatever. I opened up fucking Facebook, and right there is a picture of your balls, and it says, this account has been suspended. And I'm like, what the fuck? And I'm like, what is this? And then I start reading it, and I'm like, oh my God, it's like, I have like 30 customers, and this went out to all of them. And I was like, oh my God, I'm so dead.
Right. And again, the only thing that saved me from a beating is that you knew that I didn't know that would fuck you that bad.
Yeah.
Like, because I was like, oh God, dude, I am so sorry. I'm so fucking sorry. And I wasn't even apologizing to save off a beating. I was apologizing because I was legitimately like apologetic over like potentially fucking you out of stuff. So, like,
the funniest part about that was I went in and I deleted all the messages from all 30 or whatever business pages that I had, because I didn't want anybody to see those messages. And then I told every single one of my customers, I was like, oh, we're having a problem with the software that I use to update Facebook, and it might be a couple weeks before I can get it fixed because it's a real technical issue. And I just fucking straight up lied. I just like, oh, it's a real technical issue. And they all were like, hey, whatever, bro.
I got hacked.
Yeah, but that was about what it came off as, and I just kind of left it alone. I was like, all right, whatever. So, but yeah, dude, we have had some moments, haven't we? Jesus Christ.
Yes, we have.
Some of those days. That's the worst part, is some of them weren't even at night. The one that comes to mind for me is when it was me, you, Stephanie, and maybe Dominic. But Dom wasn't drinking when he was a kid.
Yeah.
And the night, and AJ was there too, because it was the night that we started talking about the placenta stew and whatever.
Oh God. Yeah, that was like a Monday. It was like a holiday.
But it was in the afternoon or something.
Yeah, I was grilling and we were outside in the hammocks. Just
we were drinking some
live episode. Yeah,
we were drinking some rot gut fucking vodka straight from the bottle. I don't remember what it was. It was like Paramount something.
It had to be Paramount Cherry, because that's yeah.
But we drank like 2 gallons of it between the 4 of us. And really, that, when I say between the 4 of us, it's really between the 3 of us, because Stephanie wasn't drinking that shit. She probably just sat there and was like, these fucking idiots.
We went next door to Foster's and got her some beer. Mm-hmm. And then me and you just absolutely smashed that Paramount. And AJ had a little bit because he had to drive back home. And
right.
And then we got onto the placenta talk. And
we got into placenta stew, and we were just fucked up.
Yes, we were.
I miss those days. I don't really do that much anymore. I really don't throw down like that as much as I used to.
I don't either, man. I think the last time I did that was like, I don't know, last Saturday. It's been a while.
Last Saturday.
Dude, I have to admit, my bandmates and brother, believe me, man, my 2 guitar players, they are fucking bad influences, man. We are, holy shit, man. It can be bad. Steph and I were just talking about that today. Like back in May, it was actually Memorial Day weekend. They're big like Crown Apple or Crown Peach guys,
right?
And they brought 2 bottles, one each of Apple and Crown, dickhead, Apple and Peach, and we were there and we got set up. There's a band going on before us. There's like a support act, and so we had like an hour and a half to kill before the show, and we got in the bourbon. We call it our drummer's vehicle is the Suburban. We call it the bourbon because we like to drink and whatever. Anyway,
right? Yeah.
Anyhow, so we get in the bourbon and we're kind of hanging out, and they cracked this bottle of Crown, and I had a little bit, and our drummer has a little bit, and our bass player has a little bit, and all of a sudden, like, they start going. Well, long story short, I had a little bit, our bass player had a little bit, our drummer had a little bit. Before we hit the stage, both bottles of Crown were gone. I mean, those dudes fucking tie it on.
Right.
And it's like, and it's funny. We're talking about this. My drummer's like, how do 2 guys drink like that? And I'm like, well, let me tell you a little story about me and my buddy Chris Akin. But yeah, I mean, like, dude, those guys fucking go. So, I mean, I have had weekends with them where it's like, holy Jesus, man. I mean, it is, oh, fuck, man. We, like, they're huge Van Halen guys like me. I mean, they're guitar players, so they know the technical side of things. And we do hang out. Like I'll drive to Lima and hang out. We'll all get together just to hang out to not have a show and just actually, because I mean, in Brother Believe Me, like the cool thing about it is like we're all best friends. Like it's awesome to be in the band. They're great players and everything, but we're actually like friends with each other. So we hang out outside of shows and whatnot. So we'll stay at my one guitar player's place, and the other guitar player drives in from Michigan. I drive from Cleveland. And goddamn, the one night we were there, they lined up a shitload of gear in my buddy's basement, and they're like, okay, we're gonna recreate the Van Halen, the balance record sound, the wet, dry, wet. I mean, there was guitar pedals and amps and cabs. We're down there, and Jesus Christ, my wife's gonna kill me if she ever hears this, but I mean, it was literally the three of us. We went through 5 bottles of Crown and like a case of beer. I mean, we were playing guitar, cranking the amps. We were watching YouTube videos, and we were like drinking Crown like it was coming out of a faucet. It was fucking ridiculous. So, at home I do not do that at all. But with the band, I have to admit, those guys are bad influences. It's like. So, and it does remind me of some of the times that you and I have had. So,
well, that's the weird thing with me these days, and for probably the last 4 or 5 years, really, I really don't drink, except if I'm with you and Steph or Kelly. That's the only time that I drink. I don't drink at home at all. I have a weird thing about drinking alone. It took me so long to stop being a fucking alcoholic, drunk, always fucking hammered at home.
Right.
You remember when I first got divorced or first broke up with Georgetta? Jesus Christ. Was there ever a time I was sober? I mean, I don't think so.
Not a lot. At least you had an excuse, though. It wasn't like I'm an alcoholic and I have to.
That's what every alcoholic says. Yeah. At least I got a reason.
Well, but in your defense, I mean, you were miserable. It was at that point. It was medicating something. It wasn't just like fucking sitting downstairs like, hey, you know what? I got nothing to do. Like, guess what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna tie one on. Like,
it got bad though. It got to being like, first of all, I wasn't sleeping any. I know that's news, but I wasn't sleeping at all. So it would get to be like 4 a.m. or something, and I would run out of vodka, and I would be fiending to get more vodka, and I would just be at home. I'd be, and I was all fucked up. I'm not sleeping. I'm trying to do this fucking yoga, and I'm drunk out of my mind doing yoga and trying to work, and that ain't happening, and listening to fucking 2 Out of 3 Ain't Bad by Meatloaf and crying my eyes out like a fucking faggot bitch. I mean, I was just a mess. But then, man, I knew to leave the house at exactly 9:52 because the fucking liquor store right up the street, which is an 8-minute drive from my house, would be open, and I could literally walk in as he unlocked the door.
Okay, now that's bad.
That's where I got to. I've told the story on the show before, man. Back at that time was before we had the bigger trash cans. We had the little orange thing for like bottles and stuff, like the recycle thing. Yep. That was just a small orange thing. And my fucking mailman used to make fun of me every single week because he'd drive by and I would always go out and get the mail, and he'd be like, so you had another party, did you? Because he'd see all these fucking 7-8 empty bottles of vodka, and I was like, yeah, another party. Yes, I was just, it's just me fucking hammering a bottle a day. I was drinking. And I mean, you more than anybody saw it because you really had to fucking carry me through a lot of that fucking mental bullshit. But even when me and you would fuck around and do shows or whatever, Stephanie would come over. Stephanie was always our bartender.
Yeah.
And she was always making me screwdrivers that were like 80% vodka and 20% orange juice. Not one time did I ever send it back and say, hey, can you even this out? It's like, cool, whatever, bring it. Is that all you got?
She's either the worst bartender you've ever had or the best.
I'll say the best. Big tits and strong drinks, best.
Right.
Best bartender ever.
Yep. Yeah. I remember the first time like she was doing that, and like I grabbed one of your drinks and I was like, Jesus Christ, like what are you doing? And she's like, I don't know, I don't drink this shit. What the fuck do I know? I was like, oh my God.
Yeah,
Like,
those were super strong, and they were a lot too. It wasn't like it was a small glass; it was those big solo cups.
Yeah, it was.
Well, when we were doing those shows together, we were drinking easily a bottle and a case.
Oh yeah.
Every Saturday that Neely was running around with talking.
Oh, dude, some of those shows, like, God, I don't even fucking remember. And it's like to the point where, I mean, we were talking about this earlier. We had that one show where we got all kinds of fucked up. You did, actually.
Yeah.
It was the Jeff Hanneman when he
had
passed, and you were slurring. We went out after that.
Yeah,
we went out, and you were so fucked up. We went up to that place up by you, and you broke your iPhone.
Yeah.
It was like because we had stopped early, but they were still serving like 1:30, like 1 o'clock in the morning. You broke your iPhone, so we had to leave there, and then ended up at another place.
Right.
And I think it was with your sister-in-law. I think your ex-sister-in-law,
Christina.
Yeah. And then we closed that fucking place, and holy shit, man! Steph and I were like, he says he's going to be dead by 55 because his heart is scarred and all that shit. Like, I think he's going to die tonight.
Yeah, those were
shit his own liver out. Like,
dude, the worst part about those were, I had this insurance on my phone, and they said, any damage, no problem, we'll replace your phone. So to me, that was a license to throw my phone around. And I went through 8 of them. I literally went through 8 phones before they finally said they pulled the insurance from me.
Of course.
And they stopped insuring it, but I did. I broke 8 different, because I was always, somebody said the wrong thing at me, I'd fling my iPhone.
Yeah.
Yeah. That was kind of my thing at that point.
Yeah, but I mean, dude, you're not lying about the drunken show. I mean, shit, dude, the Rhonda sketch. Joe Cleont was over there that night, and you and I had our stuff, but he brought fucking. We were like, all right, I think we're good. We don't want to get too crazy, and he shows up with Jaeger on ice, and he was like, you guys can have some if you want. We were both like, okay, like fuck yeah, let's go.
Rhonda show, I was completely annihilated. You weren't as bad. You were drunk, but you weren't as bad because you still had a conscience.
Well,
that one way past conscience.
Well, that was one that and the Hanneman one. Those were the 2 shows. Like, I knew you were going to be drinking. I actually tried to keep it in check, just in case. So you're right. I mean, like I'm like in my head, I was like going into the show. I was like, well, if he's going to be drinking this hard, because I knew you were going to be drinking that hard, I was like,
sure.
Well, what if I have to, lead the classic metal show? And it actually happened those 2 times.
Yeah.
Like if you listen back to the segments, it's kind of like me being like the lead host guy, because you're like,
right. That's literally the only time I ever remember being slurry, ever. Because usually, even if I'm hammered, I can fake it. I faked it. That's how I faked out of DWIs a couple of times.
Right.
Yeah, I faked out of a DWI coming out of your place one night when we went and saw Y&T.
Yep.
We came out of Y&T. I dropped you off at your place, and then, of course, this was brilliant on my part. Leaving your place, 5 seconds down the road from your place is the police station.
Yeah. Yep.
So I leave your place at like 2 a.m, go right past a cop. He stops me. Me and you drank a lot at the Y&T show.
Yeah.
We drank a good amount. So I was pretty fucked up. And cop stops me, and he's like, you had any drinks tonight? And I said, yeah, I had a couple. I was at the Y&T show down at the, I'm telling him, I'm fucked up. And I'm literally thinking I'm so going to jail. I was sitting there thinking I'm going to jail. And he says to me, he goes, are you drunk? And I was like, no, man, I'm fine. I'm just tired. It's been a long day. It's 2 a.m. He goes, I said, do I sound drunk? And he goes, well, your eyes look a little glassy. I said, it's 2 a.m. And he's like, yeah, all right, whatever. He's like, just slow down. He's just like, just slow down, okay? I was like, yeah, okay, cool. And off I went.
Right.
And I was like, thank God.
Those Hinckley cops, man.
Well, he had me. If he would have done a blow test on me, it would have been a 0.12 or something because I was fucked.
Yep.
Dude,
that
absolutely a
and
mess.
dude, I remember that night because I remember that specifically. I got home like, God, I am drunk because you parked at my place. You came out to my place, and then I drove us out there, and then we came back, and I was like, how is he so fucked up? I feel fine. And you would hit me up. Oh, I got popped last night. And I was like, man, I was kind of drunk, wasn't I?
Yeah.
Because it was like a 2-room situation at that show. And we would have one in that room and one in the other room. And then we saw your buddies there, and like they bought us around and we bought them around. Like, and it's one of those nights where you don't even realize it because you're like amped up to 11.
Mm-hmm.
And so you don't feel it. You don't realize it. And then all of a sudden later you're like, oh God, yeah. Holy shit, I'm fucking messed up, dude. Like, that's not good. I mean, whew, man. I mean, shit, dude. I had one of those a couple weeks ago with Brother Believe Me. I drove 2.5 hours home.
Right.
Steph was just bitching me out today about it. Like, you showed up, you were fucked up. And I mean, me and the 2 guitar players, go figure, there they come again into the story. like they were just a disaster. And apparently my drummer was like, you guys shouldn't drive home. And I was like, dude, I'm fine. Like, I've got my cooler with an energy drink, a 5-hour energy, a bunch of water. Like, it's what I always do. I'm fine. Like, felt great. And I remember halfway through the drive home, I was like, what the fuck? Did like the booze just kick in or something? Like what the hell? And I get home and Steph's never awake at that hour, but
right.
Man, she was, for some reason. She woke up because the dogs woke her up or something when I came in. She's like, you're fucking drunk off your ass. I'm like, no, I'm fine. And apparently I was not fine, but I felt fine. Like, yeah. So yeah, that was one of those nights with Y&T. I drove us. I was fine. And you're like, dude, I got popped. I'm like, why? And like, oh yeah, shit, we were fucked up, weren't we?
Yeah, because we had like 15 drinks.
Yeah, right. All shots, of course.
Of course.
See, that's the thing with us. Like when you say, oh, we had 15 drinks. Like for us, it was never, oh, we had like 10 beers, which is not great if you're gonna have 10 beers in one night. But for us, it was like, it's always like fucking 10 like shots or double shots.
Yeah.
You know? Like, I mean, dude, when we go to see Landau at the Funny Stop, I mean, the first time we went, what did we say? We look at the menu and it was like, oh, you can get like a pitcher of Long Island iced tea. We both
yes,
like, dude, we can get a whole pitcher of Long Island iced tea. Like, what the fuck? Like,
and we did. We got a pitcher of Long Island and a pitcher of Jack and Coke. We did. We didn't even bother with the beers that night. We had 2 pitchers of hard alcohol.
And God bless Steph, man. God, she is so hard. It doesn't work very well, but she at least tries to be our conscience. And I'll never forget. She looks at me, didn't even bother talking to you because she knew it wouldn't get anywhere because barely get anywhere with me. She goes, "Do you really need to have a pitcher of Long Island iced tea?"
Yes.
And I went, "No, we don't. What can I get you? A pitcher of Long Island iced tea, please." But she tried.
And then I'm such a dick. I'm like, Steph, you want me to get you some nachos?
Well,
I'm trying to be polite.
2 Mick Ultras. Yeah, right.
I'm trying to be polite. Hey, I'll get you some nachos.
Look at Barden Muse in the chat. What is the show about tonight? Skippy immediately comes back. Nothing.
Yeah,
That's
exactly.
Fucking right. Yes.
It's the fucking Seinfeld off show. That's what it is. We're just gonna ramble.
Is.
I do have topics tonight. We'll get there, but whatever. It's the first fucking segment. It's always just a fuck around.
Right.
And Barden's gonna end up banned anyway, so it doesn't really matter. You know.
Why does he get banned? Or she?
He grinds on me all the time. He bitches and whines about everything.
About what?
Anything. My mic's too loud. I should shave the beard. I should cut my hair. I should fucking talk about this. I should do that. He's also one of your Sammy Hagar hater guys too. So.
Oh, fuck that guy. All right. Yeah. Fuck you, Barden. And by the way, since I'm on air now and these cunts can't say anything about it, fuck you, Ruben Mosqueda and Nate DeBassi and Jason Lundgren. Go fuck yourselves.
Wow.
Fucking suck my dick, you fucking assholes.
That's not nice.
Fuck them, dude. And their stupid little fucking fan page with their fucking every single meme is about Neely and Dokken and Squidward. Go fuck yourselves, you unoriginal twats. Eat a bag. Fucking cunts.
Well, the funny thing is I didn't really say shit in there, and somehow, some way they kicked me out of there. I don't know why, but for some reason I saw I wasn't seeing any posts anymore, and I was booted out of there. So I don't know why, but whatever.
Maybe you didn't think the same Dokken joke and the same Squidward meme wasn't funny 8,428 times.
I never say anything. I don't give a shit. You know what? Bag on me, bag on Neely. I don't give a fuck. You know, I don't care. I don't care enough to comment. That I don't do. I never am like, wait a minute here. Let me tell you what we were trying to say. You know, I'm not that guy. It's the fucking internet. It's goddamn close to a hallucination as far as I'm concerned. It just doesn't
Right?
really exist to me. You know,
They're whores. Fuck them. Fuck them. All right, you want to fucking challenge me, Barden? Let's go. I'll challenge your ass. Hagar versus Roth. Just bring up some fucking videos, dude. Chris, you know what you should do? You should bring up a video of Dave singing in 2024 and Sammy singing in 2024. Oh, wait, you can't because Roth ain't fucking singing because nobody wants to see his ass. And, oh, that's right. Hagar's playing in front of 20,000 people every night. Fucking.
Yeah, but those shows suck.
What shows suck?
Those Sammy Hagar best of both worlds shows or whatever they're called.
What do you mean they suck?
That's what I've heard from guys like Barden.
No, fuck that shit. Are you kidding me? Are you fucking kidding me? That dude. Okay, look, I'm gonna phrase it this way. Maybe this isn't a great thing to say, but like fucking Sammy Hagar will turn 77 on October 13th. Okay, my dad would have been 77 10 days later on October 23rd. My dad died in January. Okay, and he was just destroyed. Right, like his body for like the last like 5, 6, 7, 8 years of his life. Right. Sammy Hagar's out there drinking his ass off, playing for 20,000 fucking people. He sounds awesome.
Yeah, you went, right?
Like, oh God, it was fucking incredible. It was like, and I'm not just saying that as a fanboy. Even if you're not a Sammy fan, dude, the fact that the guy's like, again, he's going to be 77 and can still go out there and do shit like Judgment Day and 5150 and these songs with these high notes in there, dude. He fucking did a great job. He put on an energetic show. I mean, like, there's nothing to complain about. The Roth honks are just going to complain because it's not fucking Dave. And he's not doing his stupid sword fucking routine and everything. And it's, there's
I remember this song.
Yeah, exactly. That's the highest note he hit all night.
Well, here,
if he hit a note at all.
I'm putting the link for you, just for you, Barden. The link is in the chat. The link is on the screen. Feel free to call in and tell John why he's wrong. Feel free. Connect with your phone. You don't even have to put your face on the screen if you don't want to. Just connect with your phone and we'll put the audio and I'll let you two handle it. Look
at this guy. Who cares? 77 should be dead. The fuck?
That's the same guy, Barden.
Who cares? Drinks his ass off and bashes Eddie for drinking. Well, you know why he bashes Eddie for drinking? Because Eddie killed himself with booze and coke. That's what fucking killed him, dude. There's a difference between how Sammy drinks and how Eddie drank, dude. Eddie drank so much that he got busted. He got a DUI on a golf cart, dude. Like, that's a problem. What Sammy does is not that. So, I'm telling you,
Eddie is real. Hagar is a bitch. A woman bitch.
All right, well. Look, dude. Jump on the show and we will discuss.
Yeah, feel free.
And by the way, this is not me or Akin just setting you up to just yell at you. Like, we'll have the conversation. I don't mind discussing it. That's my problem with the fucking Roth honks. They won't actually discuss it. It's just, fucking Roth rules and Sammy's a bitch. And it's like, well, then let's talk. No, they can't talk. They won't have a conversation. They're just, they want to yell at people.
Well, yeah.
Let's see here. Sammy was best in Montrose. There's Jim, of course. What's up, Jim? Drake, did you see Van Halen with Sharon? Yes, I did. My first Van Halen show was on the Balance Tour in '95 at the Gund. It was called Gund Arena back then here in Cleveland, and I saw them multiple times on that tour, and every single Van Halen tour after I saw them at least once. And I thought the Sharon record was. But the tour was fucking great because the set list was awesome.
The tour was
Gary
pretty
could do
good.
both of
I enjoyed the tour.
Yep.
Here you go. Here's Dave. Here's Dave. Live. Dance the night away.
Oh Jesus! Here it comes.
Let's see if we got a career. Are you guys ready to? You want to go? Dance the
night
away
we want to
with
go.
us. Yeah, come on, man.
You picked the perfect song because he is all over the map on this song. Like, is he aware there's a fucking melody to this song?
Dick.
Right? Here it comes.
Oh, he's good.
Hey, there's the problem right there. There's the problem right there. Did you hear that? When they hit the chorus, he sings it and he nails the notes. The guy can sing. He just doesn't. He's such a fucking twat. He's like, these fuckers are going to eat whatever shit sandwich I give them. Just fucking terrible. It's like, dude, if you can do it, why don't you? And every time he goes over to Eddie doesn't look at him. I'm picturing Eddie going, all right, I'm getting paid $50,000 tonight and fucking $100,000 tomorrow. like he's just counting the dollars in his head to deal with this idiot.
He's like, this will fucking make my mortgage tonight. Just fucking put up with it.
Right.
I agree with Brian on this point. Why the fuck are Van Halen on Ellen?
Well, dude, you know what? It was fucking, I mean, that was the demographic at the time. A whole bunch of fucking like 50, 60-year-old moms reliving their fucking youth. And I mean, that's, shit, dude. Think about it. This was, if this was 2013, then, that would have been, God, what, like 30 years after 1984. So people that were, or was it 40, whatever the fuck it was. 30 years after 1984, like these chicks are like, they're moms. Yeah. And they're watching mom shows. So, I thought it was a brilliant marketing strategy. The only thing that wasn't brilliant was that Dave just sounded like
Dave
ass.
showed up.
Yeah, dude. I mean, it's just ridiculous. I mean, and I talk about this with a bunch of my Van Halen buddies and stuff. Like, if you look up shows from that last tour, like the one I want to say it's at Red Rocks. And like a storm was blowing in, like the amps all have like plastic on them and shit like that, but the band played, and Dave couldn't move around because it was like there were storms and wind and shit like that, so he's basically kind of standing in one place, and he sounds good. Like he had to stand there and fucking sing, and he sounded fine. So the rest
Barden,
of that shit,
hold on John, for one second. There is no phone number tonight, Barden. You got to use the link. Use your smartphone and connect to that link if you wanna be on the show.
Yep. Yeah, Barden. Yeah, use the link, man.
Use the link. Come on.
Yep.
Put it
Drake.
in the chat room again.
Would you have preferred a Van Halen Sharon 2.0 than Roth's return?
Yes.
You know what, dude? This is hard for me to say. I think I would take Roth's return.
Oh.
Only because I God, I hate to bring other people in. It's instead of being selfish, dude. Everyone wanted to see Roth, so let's get those songs out there. We had all the Sammy songs and everything, and the Sharon thing, like it had. I mean, that record got kind of weird, and we now know that basically Eddie played. That was an Eddie Van Halen solo record. He played the drums on the record. He played the bass on the record. I mean, the Roth thing, at least it kept the band going for another, almost decade.
All right.
So, I mean, the Sharon thing would have damn near killed him.
Right.
I think.
All right, here's Barden. Here we go. Barden.
Right.
Can you hear me?
Hey.
Oh, yeah.
Yep, we hear you.
All right, cool. Well, first of all, I want to start off saying I think you're a cool guy. So you sound very cool. So I'm hoping we can have like a very cool conversation that's not like, can you hear me?
Yeah.
Okay, very good.
Fuck you, bitch. Get on camera. No.
I'm great. Listen, we're all fucking drinking. I got vodka here. We're all drinking, and I'm good right now.
Okay.
Let's do this. John, start. We're gonna have a very healthy debate, and I'm gonna win this motherfucker. So tell me, get rid of Roth. Tell me why this Hagar thing is worth your while.
Because you're hearing songs that have not been played in a couple decades. Some of them are deep cuts that Van Halen actually never played, even with Eddie and Alex and Mikey. And people want to hear that material. I mean, it's clear that people want to hear it because, I mean, they're not just doing 2,000, 3,000 seaters. The guy's playing 20,000 to 20,000 people for 30 dates and stuff like that. People want to hear this shit, and it sounds good. Sammy can still pull it off. It's exactly what he said. He said people want to hear it. I still want to play it. Me and Mikey want to keep flying the Van Halen flag. So let's go out and do it, man. And obviously the crowds reacted to it because that tour was a huge success.
Okay, now it's my turn. We're having one of these fucking debates. Now it's my turn. So you're right about people want to hear. I just so you know, I got most hooked on Van Halen with the 5150 shit. Although I love the early stuff. In my youth,
how old are you? How old are you? But sorry, how old are you?
I'm 55, bro. So I was You see my fucking hand in the thing. Yeah. But anyway, I'm a musician. I'm a drummer. I play. Dude, I'm connected with Lamb of God. I'm the real deal. I just don't need to expose all that shit. But I want to talk about this concert, and I'm going to tell you, John, what bothers me about it so much.
Okay.
This is what bothers me about it so much, John and Chris, is that Sammy initiated this whole thing by saying that he was upset that nobody was doing nothing for Eddie and his legacy and when he was deceased. And Eddie Trunk was promoting no one's doing anything. They do something for the drummer for Foo Fighters. No one's doing nothing for Eddie. Sure. In my opinion, and I could be wrong, and I want to hear you out, John, I feel that Hagar, the relationship between Hagar and Eddie and his brother Alex was diminished when he did that song for that song, Twister, because Eddie and Alex felt like, yo, this is about music. Why are you doing something for a movie? And you didn't talk about this beforehand. And the reason I bring this up, John, is because I feel like Hagar heard what was like that this could be I'm going to be straight up with you, man. A cash cow. Like he could make a lot of money off of this. And
you're talking about doing a song for Twister?
No, doing a concert with all the Van Halen Hagar era, and I get it. Chris and Neely argue their point. Especially Neely. Neely's point is, listen, Hagar has helped write a lot of that music and stuff like that. That's not my point. My position is, come on, John, you're telling me, and I believe you. You're a fucking hardcore Van Halen fan. Mm-hmm. You know damn well. Yes, it's Hagar's lyrics. Yes, it's Hagar's voice, but it would not exist without Eddie Van Halen's writing. And I feel like it's disrespectful for Hagar. I feel like, and I want to hear you talk. I'm going to stop right here, and then I'm going to go afterwards. I want to hear you talk. I feel like Hagar is being, in my opinion, once again, an ex-wife fucking bitch, like he did with his fucking book talking about fucking Eddie, and now he's going and this is what hurts fans and me the most, that Hagar found out that Alex wanted to recruit Joe Satriani for when Alex was attempting to try to put something together, and then Hagar fucking went and got Satriani. To me, it's just like, I feel like Hagar is almost like a what do you call it, like a woman that's scorned. He's like So no, I want to hear what John has to say about this, and then I'll continue. Go ahead, John. Tell me from what I said. Go ahead.
No, that's fine. Yeah, I mean, the whole Satriani thing, that's true. That was what they were going to do. You know, and here's a point against Dave. They've all but said that Dave was
why
the
Dave?
reason.
Wait, John. Why are you bringing Dave into this?
Well, because allow me to retort.
And I say that because I never talked about Dave. I never talked about Dave.
Okay. Look, dude, if you're gonna talk to like the ultimate Van Halen honk, then allow me to retort.
Go ahead.
The reason I bring up Dave, because you bring up, Alex was trying to get Joe Satriani. The reason that nothing materialized in terms of a tribute to Eddie was because Dave got in the way. Dave would not let it happen because it was all about fucking Eddie and not about him. All of them have come out and basically said, without saying his name, even Wolfgang said, I think was on Eddie Trunk, Eddie asked him, is it not happening because of a guy whose initials are three? Is it three initials? And he said, well, put two and two together. So, it was going to happen, but Dave was a twat and didn't let it happen. In terms of you saying, the music wouldn't happen without Eddie, you are 150% correct. That, in fact, that's an argument that Chris and I have all the time. When we went to Oshkosh for the Rock USA Festival in 2013, he's like, I left early because Dave sounded so bad. And he's always said, how the fuck do you sit through that? I'm like, dude, because I'm there to see Eddie Van Halen play guitar. Like, and that's why I love Van Halen so much, all eras, because to me, it's all about Eddie. And so, you're 100% right in saying, it's all about Eddie and shit. But to say it's a cash grab, I would go along with that if, like, let's say, I hate to bring Gary Sharon into this in this context, but
I'm glad you are. No, John, very briefly, I'm glad you are, because Gary is not fucking around with this shit. God bless him. I respect him more, but go ahead.
No, but if Gary was out there doing this stuff, then you could say, okay, maybe it's a cash grab. But Sammy Hagar's got like $300 million, $500. The guy's damn near a billionaire. It's not a cash grab. He doesn't need the fucking money. He could literally do the tour for free. So it's not a cash grab. He loves playing the Van Halen stuff. And again, as a fan, I read everything. I every article, every this, every that. I've met Sammy. I've interviewed Sammy. Dude, the guy wants to fucking play the fucking Van Halen material, and we want to hear it. I mean, if people didn't want to hear it or see that show, it would never have come up, and they would not be able to play 20,000 seat places, dude.
John, how do you feel about Alex and Wolfgang not even appearing physically to one of these shows? What do you feel about that?
That's their choice.
Why do you think they're not going?
Dude, okay, first of all, with Wolfgang, he's doing his own thing. And he has, this is so easy. You're throwing up softballs here. Dude, Wolfgang has said he doesn't want to, ride his dad's coattails. He did the couple songs at the 2 Taylor Hawkins shows. It was like, dude, now I got closure. Fuck yeah. I'm not going to play Van Halen songs at my fucking shows. I want to do it on my own. And Alex, it's so obvious, dude. And for me, it's even more crystal clear because my younger brother, AJ, and my older brother, DA, dude, they are my best friends. If I was in a band with them and like, one of them passed, I'd be like, I'm not doing this anymore. That's my thing. And Alex never wanted to play with anybody but Eddie. So when Eddie passed, he's like, I'm not playing anymore.
But John, if you were that close and you are that close to your family and to your brothers, if someone wrote a book bashing your brother who had an addiction problem, an illness, you would not fucking support that, John.
So we're talking about Sammy's book. Yeah, I mean, dude, that's a difficult one. Sammy was pretty brutal in that book.
He was brutal,
but it's also the truth, and I think
No, okay. So you talk for a while. Let me go, and then I'm going to let you go.
Yeah,
as far as being brutal and all this stuff, there's this weird. It's almost like the code blue for cops. With musicians, there's this dirt and shit that goes on the road, and with musicians that you just don't fucking put in a book. If you put in a book or you talk about it, in my opinion, you're a fucking bitch. And he went and put that shit in a book, and in my opinion, he was hurt that he felt very strongly about this chapter in his career with Van Halen and everything. And the career they had at first. The 1984, ironically, never reached number one because of Thriller, but 5150 did reach number one. So Hagar was part of something extremely special, and he was very relevant and a very important part of that. But He wrote the book, and then for him, it's almost like, in my opinion, it's almost like adding insult to injury for the fans of just Van Halen as an entity, as a group, as this fucking. Now, when you bring up Roth and Sharon, if you look at Alex Van Halen, nobody has seen his book. The rumor is he hasn't even brought up Sammy in the book. I wouldn't be surprised if he superficially brings it up, because he's such a class act that rather than say fuck you, he just will go further and just say, you know what, I'm not even gonna fucking acknowledge you, bro. Do your tour. I'm not even gonna talk about you in the book because you want me to talk about you. I thought it was really nasty what Eddie said this week, actually, about Alex.
Eddie.
With Eddie, did this tour. I think it's he's going.
Sammy.
Yeah, because Chris and Neely, they actually don't do that, and Eddie does. Where Eddie has this thing where, he has his show is successful, but Eddie, in my opinion, he flirts with boundaries. He does this with Motley Crue. He interviews Mick Mars, which Chris also did. But then after Eddie Trunk interviews Mick Mars and plays music, then he keeps getting communications with Nikki Sixx, talks about it, and then when all these callers, when he asked for what are the best records from I think 2023, and so many people said. Mick Mars' solo album, a full album, by the way, not an EP or a one-song thing and a Beastie Boy song, a full album. So many people called in and said Mick Mars, and Eddie still kind of downplayed and said, "Oh, we're expecting it to be blues." Dude, you could argue people were expecting Motley Crue to be more fucking shout at the devil, fast for love. But he's always sort of, so my thing with the Japan thing, he's bashing Alex. I think Alex and Eddie are very family oriented. I think that's why the love he had with Valerie was very authentic. It's very a family. She comes from a very Italian family oriented family thing, and I think I love that they didn't do a big to do. But let's go back. I want to hear what you have to say. I'm gonna stop. I want to hear, but I want to say one thing about the Raw thing you said. If you watch the image that Alex put, he's sort of doing these teasers. So he put an image of his mother and father, this and that, and then he put him, Eddie, and fucking Roth, and Mikey is sort of with the behind his head. He's basically saying these are my posse, these are the real deal. Because Alex and Roth. Even if you listen to the Joe Rogan shit, listen, everybody knows, Roth included, that he's fucking nuts. Okay, but they still have a relationship, and that nutty shit is what made Van Halen so successful. So I think Alex still respects the fact that Roth, as bad as Roth is, come on, John, Roth never has bad-mouthed Eddie and the drinking and all this. Eddie had a fucking he had an illness, bro. He was fucking alcoholic, and he was a brilliant genius. Unfortunately, that comes with it sometimes. And Sammy Hagar's selling Cabo Wabo, and he's having a couple of sips. He never gets drunk. Hopefully all three of us will get drunk tonight. Sammy does not get drunk. He has a couple sips. John, it's your turn. Go ahead.
Hold on. I'm going to step in for one
Go ahead, Chris.
or two quick points, and I'm not getting involved in this whole mess. But I will say this. I'm going back to where you said about the book.
Yeah.
Only to say that expecting musicians to have integrity is a big fucking miss. These guys don't. They will do anything to get attention. They're all attention whores, including Sammy Hagar. I'll be the first one to say Sammy Hagar.
Yeah.
If there's anything Sammy Hagar loves, it's attention.
Yeah.
He needs that more than money, and saying shit about Eddie is the quickest way he can get it. So the book thing, I'm not surprised by it at all. And, anybody that was surprised by it should really re-examine, because he wrote the diss track Little White Lies beforehand.
Yeah.
10 years before that. So he was already using his music to say it, and then he went on to another, he took it further. So I'm not necessarily put off by it personally, because I don't expect better from these guys. So that's all I want to say. Now you go, John.
No, Yeah, I mean, I understand why people think him airing the dirty laundry is a bitch move. I understand it. I get it. But I think even with that time period, if you saw that tour, I was very lucky that the show that I was at, maybe I was just wearing, Frankenstein colored glasses.
Which show were you at, John? Where
for the dude, like I said, I haven't missed a Van Halen tour since 1995. I was front row in front of Eddie for the 2004 tour where he was a fucking disaster.
Right.
And even if Sammy hadn't put it in his book, it was widely publicized that he was a fucking disaster. I mean, so all Sammy was doing was filling in the blanks, man.
But John, what do you mean by a disaster, John? Are all three of us, you, me, Chris, aren't we into fucking metal and fucking rock? Because fuck the word disaster. Don't we want rock and roll? Don't we love Motley Crue most when they're fucked up? When Nikki Sixx is a fucking on-stage high, isn't that why we love music,
pull up a picture of Eddie when he was fucked up. It's easy to find.
With the fucking samurai fucking ponytail.
Yeah, exactly. Samurai hair. Dude, Akin, there's a side-by-side. Pull that. Dude, come on, man. If you're a Van Halen fan, you know that Eddie was fucking 1 foot in the grave. That guy was so coked out and wined out and everything. He was fucking absolutely a disaster. And his playing was shit at a lot of those shows. Again, I got lucky. The show I was at, he sounded fine. And dude, I get it. People think it's a bitch move for Sammy to put it in his book and everything, but it's not a cash grab. He was only telling the truth. And I mean, what do you want from a book? I mean, here's the thing. Like, people always complain about that, but when these guys write their biographies and shit, do you just want to see like I'll use a perfect example. Like, I'm gonna use a wrestling analogy.
You wouldn't do it, John. So, you wouldn't write trash about Chris, John. You wouldn't.
No, I would.
Hold on. Now that. We spent the first hour of the show telling shit stories about each other.
That's fun stories. That's not trash, bro. That was beautiful, fun stories.
But we could tell trash stories.
Okay,
too,
but dude, Barden, and Akin will agree with me on this. If we need to get down and dirty and talk about actual shit, we would do it. We would fucking do it. Because I mean, that's reality. You can't deny that it's not real. Like, yeah, Chris and I have those fucking drinking stories, but we also have drinking stories where Akin fucking choke slammed me because I was a cunt. Were we having fun? Yeah. But he fucking damn near killed me because I was an asshole. These things happen. These things are reality. Just because someone calls it out doesn't mean they're not true.
So
doesn't mean they're not fucking true.
John, you win all of this. You win right here. You won. Okay. Let me ask you this, though, John. Let me ask you this.
Find one where he's not playing.
Sammy goes on tour right now. Sammy goes on tour right now, John, and he went on Eddie Trunk and Howard Stern, right, talking about this was the whole thing about, and initially, if you listen to the fucking shit he was saying, initially, oh, come on, stop, man, he's still jumping, man, come on, man. All of us can get trash nights. We could do that jump. Come on, man, don't put that picture up. Anyway, listen, John, so Sammy Hagar said that he wanted to do this whole tribute to Eddie. John, am I right about that? Didn't he say that?
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Okay, so let me ask you this, and this is very short, and I want to hear what you have to say. The show, and I've watched it in full 3 times. I will not pay money to see it because it hurts me. I will watch it online. And when I watch it online, there's nothing of Eddie. Yeah, they put the guitar Frankenstein shit when they do the little 3-song medley, what they call it, a medley, right? At the end, by the way. But when they open up, it's a bunch of Sammy Hagar, the microphone stands RR, Red Rocker. How can you argue? How can you stand by Sammy? Chris said it best, where these motherfuckers are all out for themselves. But, like, how can you argue that it was never about a tribute to Eddie? It was about a tribute to Sammy Hagar, who's 77. He's about to, as I said in the past, kick the bucket. He's about to fucking die. And he's doing this last, like, as Eddie Trunk put it, he's about to put a button on his career. John, how do you defend that, John?
It's easy to defend because Sammy's been out there doing his own shit for years. He could easily go and do a Sammy solo tour. Again, the thing you're forgetting is Sammy doesn't need the money. He's doing this shit because he wants to.
He has a family.
He's not out there collecting a paycheck.
He doesn't need the money.
He's got $500 million
$500
in the bank. He doesn't fucking need it. I mean, Jesus Christ. The Cabo brand is fucking screaming. He's got a beer brand now. He's got Sammy's Beach Bar rum. He's got all this shit. He doesn't, dude, that guy could stop right now and he would pull in fucking $80 million in the next fucking year and a half. He doesn't need the money. He's doing it because he wants to. And people want to hear the material, dude. I mean, if you're going to sit here and bash Sammy, then I will ask you, what is David Lee Roth doing? He's doing nothing.
Wait. Oh, that's good. That's a good one.
He sounds like shit. He's a fucking pain in the ass, and no one wants to go see that crap. He did a residency in Las Vegas, and no one came to fucking see it.
It makes me sad, John.
Well, because he doesn't, dude. You want to talk about
try?
Exactly. He serves a shit sandwich, like we said. Sammy's out there busting his balls. He cares what it sounds like. He cares about the legacy. Dave didn't care about the legacy when he was in the fucking band. We just saw like a minute and a half of one song, and we know that the whole rest of the show was like that for fucking years. He doesn't care. And if he cared about the legacy, he would have gotten this thing together and let's do a fucking tribute to Eddie Van Halen. He didn't, because he walks around like his shit doesn't stink with his fucking dick in his hand. Oh, it's got to be about me, not about fucking, Eddie.
But
it's got to
John,
be about
isn't
me.
that what made
him.
wait, John? Isn't that what made Van Halen so fucking special to us back then?
You know what made Van Halen so fucking special? You said it. Eddie Van Halen writing those fucking songs.
Yeah.
Eddie Van Halen made Van Halen special.
Yes.
And they were good live at one point with Roth.
Yeah. Exactly.
Yes.
And the band was on fucking fire with Roth because Eddie got sober and the band sounded great. But Roth is out there doing his stupid soft shoe bullshit and is fucking whipping a stick around in the air. Like, what the fuck is that? Sammy's out there going, I love you, man. He's doing all the Van Hagar shit, dude, pulling out deep cuts. Anything Roth ever plays is just the greatest hits that we've heard a million times. Hey, guys, you want to hear Jump Panama and Ain't Talking About Love and You Really Got Me? Here you go. Sammy's out there from the Sammy catalog doing shit like fucking Judgment Day and 5150. And, he did play Humans Being and all this shit that's like deep cuts. Like, Sammy gives a shit. Dave doesn't give a shit. And it's all about fucking Eddie, and Dave doesn't care, and Sammy fucking does.
But John, everything you're saying, you are correct. John, you are correct. Everything you're saying, you are correct. But, John, I feel like it could be a VCR hit on rewind, and everything you're saying is back to 1994 when he went and did Eat 'Em and Smile. Everything you could say everything you're saying back in 1985.
How?
Roth cared about Roth. Roth was a very fucking mentally ill rich guy, and he
Barden, you're digging a bad hole here because
I'm not digging a bad hole.
Yeah, you
There's
are.
nothing
Hold on.
to talk about Roth here. I'm not digging a bad hole.
In
this is about Hagar
1985,
disrespecting Eddie. Roth had nothing to do with this.
In 1985, Roth still cared about the show.
Yeah,
that's why he did this. No, but he cared about Van Halen. He cared about replacing Van Halen. He built his own Van Halen,
which was
with
very
Steve
different
Vai
than
and the
Van Halen.
Bissonette
And
Boys.
And honestly, it was fucking epic.
It was great. It was great, but hold on. He cared about the show. I went to a couple of those shows, and he had the look,
epic.
he had the sound, he did the big surfboard thing, which was the big production thing.
Yes.
He cared about the show.
Yes.
When you saw Roth in 2013, which we did, and he's up on stage barking out bad versions of the songs and going, I remember this one, and here's my fucking sword. That was a guy that didn't care, and we saw it backstage. He didn't give a shit about anything else except showing up and collecting his check.
Okay, you are correct. You're correct. But back to Van Halen, and John, you agreed with me on this, and I think this is one area we both agree on in this odd debate, is that all of these parties, sort of like the common denominator is the songwriting, the artistry of Ed Van Halen. And that's what, John, that's what bothers me the most about this. What hurts me the most, and I think it's what hurts people that are pissed off about the Hagar thing. we're only the people who are pissed off about the Hagar thing. It's not that we're so pissed off about Hagar in the book, which was a long time ago. It's about just leave all of it. It's so fucking stained. Just leave it all alone, man. And Alex, in a way, if it's true that he doesn't talk about Sammy that much in the book,
There's
in
no
a
way
way,
that's true,
bro.
by the way.
Go ahead. Say it
There's
again.
There's no way that's true. By the way, there's absolutely because
I agree with you on that.
in the press release for the book, he says this is the only true telling of what happened in the. And there's no way he's gonna.
Yeah,
anyway, but continue.
right.
Sorry, I just
No, I agree with you on that. I think he is going to talk about him.
All right, well, here, hold on. Barden, I'm going to give you a last word, then I'm going to give John a last word, because we're not going to do this till fucking 2 in the morning. I need a beer.
Yeah, of course. John, last word. John, go.
Ahead,
I'll let you get a last word, dude. I'll debate Van Halen all
thank
day.
you for that. I want to give a last word. I want to say, Chris, you canceled me last week for saying some stupid shit about Nikki Sixx or whatever. Thank you for putting me on tonight. And I knew I can't. No, I want to be straight up with you, Chris. I came on because I knew you said John was a big supporter of the Hagar thing. I wanted to make sure I was here. Got a whole giant bottle of vodka for this shit. I'm fucking sober right now. I won't be sober in a couple of hours. John, I want to say thank you. You were super fucking cool with this debate thing. I agree with you on so much of what you said, and the only thing I could say is that I still am upset that I wish Sammy Hagar would have laid off on emphasizing Van Halen and just would have done some tour that sort of decorated all of his putting a button up on his thing before he dies in the coffin, which I'll be very happy when that day comes. Go ahead, John.
No,
I love John. You're a very cool guy, John. Go ahead, John.
Appreciate it. Thank you very much, man. Appreciate the debate as well, man. No, dude. I mean, for me, I love that Sammy did it. The one thing that I took away from the tour when I went was, dude, and I've interviewed Sammy a couple times and I've talked to him behind the scenes, and I mean, dude, Sammy Hagar recorded a personal voicemail for me and my wife for our wedding 10 years ago. I mean, the guy is just fucking one of the sweetest guys ever. The fact that he's out there doing the Van Hagar stuff is awesome. And, he is coming from an honest place. Again, he doesn't need the fucking money. He's like, dude, I want to play these songs. Like he said, I'm not getting any younger. Mikey's not getting any younger. People still want to hear it. He's right about that. And dude, what it did for me when I was at that show, he put so much care into the production and the sound and the performance that, dude, it felt like it did back, when the band was around and actually a functioning band as Van Hagar, man. The vibe was there, and it was awesome to see that and kind of relive it. It was one of the very few times when you have a nostalgia trip that actually lives up to the hype. And, I know, tons of my buddies, or especially in my band, my guitar players are monstrous Van Halen guys like I am, and our bass player too. And they said the same thing. They were like, oh my God, like this is exactly what I wanted to feel. And, if you're not into it, if you're a Roth guy, I get it and everything. But I mean, look, man, he did do it for Eddie. I mean, Eddie was his best friend. They made up, shortly before Eddie, passed away.
I don't know about that, John, but keep going. I don't believe that, but keep going.
Dude, it's written down. I mean, Valerie Bertinelli said it. Wolfgang said it. It's been widely reported that happened. And it's a great show. And for people like me, I mean, I know you're not a fan of it, but I love that it happened, and I love that it happened for all other Van Halen fans that wanted to see that shit. So, good talking to you too and everything. And man, I think the one thing we take away from all of this is fucking Eddie Van Halen is fucking like the greatest motherfucker ever. So, we can always agree on that. So there you go.
Hey, John, you're a cool guy, bro. I'm glad I met you tonight on this call. Take care of yourself.
Yep. Appreciate you, Barden.
150 tape. Take care. Good night. Bye.
All right. Now beat it.
Yeah.
Nice.
All right, there we go. Van Halen, Van Hagar. I think we're done with that forever and ever. We've solved the problem.
All right, so for the next hour and a half, now we're going to talk Dream Theater. God damn it! Let's. There we go.
That's funny bullshit detector. Yeah. This show has as much lift as the Skinner plane.
Hey, bullshit! I thought you were going to go watch the Hoarders marathon.
Yeah, well, go do it. people, it always cracks me up when they throw these in here. Like all of a sudden I'm going to change patterns to their direction. No, I'm not. We're going to do the same old shit. Next, we're going to talk about wrestling for an hour.
There we go.
Suck a dick.
There we go. I give that guy a lot of credit for actually coming in on the show.
Yeah, that was good.
How many times you throw out the link and people are like, oh, then all of a sudden they back down when they got
then they're scared of it.
Yeah, put rubber to the road, and he didn't. He came in and started blasting. Like, all kudos to Barden, man.
Oh yeah. All right, well, let's do this. We're going to take a break. I am doing something different tonight. I am actually going to play videos quite illegally in between
Quite a
here because we're not broadcasting on the audio portion. So since it's a video only show, I'm going to play a few videos. And since we talked about Van Halen, how about some live 5150 from that tour, from the 5150 tour?
Fuck yeah, dude.
That'll work. That'll get us started. We're going to play a few songs so that I can go do a little bit of processing bullshit. And then we will come back and we will do some more. So hang tight, everybody. And we'll be back in a minute right here
on your classic metal.
Brace yourself for the wildest ride of your life. It's the craziest book Chris Akin has ever written, and other things I should not say. Get ready for over 500 pages of pure, unfiltered debauchery. From his military years, Chris Akin spills the shocking stories of sex, partying, violence, and the stuff that's so wild it's probably illegal. You've heard the tales on the Classic Metal Show, but never like this. Don't wait. Get your copy now at chrisakin.net before the censors try to shut it down. Looking to sell your car quickly and for top dollar? At buyyourcars.net, we make it easy. Whether your vehicle is new, used, or even damaged, we'll buy it in any condition. Fast offers, quick cash, and hassle-free transactions. What more could you ask for? Just visit buyyourcars.net, enter your vehicle information, and get a fast offer within minutes. Ready to sell? Call us today at 770-815-0342 or fill out the contact form at buyyourcars.net. Get cash fast for your car the easy way. Buyyourcars.net. Selling your car has never been easier.
Hey, what's up, everybody? It's Alan from Stone Whiskey, and you're watching CMS TV.
Probably the size of the crowd that they normally draw as well. That's Legions of Doom here with all Good Things, I think that's the name of the song.
I see exactly why you picked that, and an excellent segue. Nice job.
Why? I'm glad you did.
Well, dude, you said it's Legions of Doom or whatever, and we're talking wrestling. So there we go.
We are going to talk wrestling. We're definitely going to talk some wrestling here. It is the Classic Metal Show right here on CMSPN.com.
That video is going to look awesome with me smashing some string cheese. I didn't know I was on camera. I'm sitting there like mowing.
That's fine. That's fine. I know. I was racing in here. I was racing in here myself, trying to get a beer before I came in here. Oh my God.
Got a little bit of spooky tooth fatheads and a little bit of bourbon over here. So
nice. Neely is at a show. Where do you think Neely is, Mike?
Yeah.
If you had to take one guess in the entire world where Neely might be, what would you guess? That is like a question that should not even be answered on or asked on this show anymore. If Neely's not here, assume that it starts with Don and ends with Dokken. Because 99% of the time, you will be right.
Right.
He is with Don, and I would have swore he said Vegas, but I saw video, some really rank video of Don in Texas. And I was just like, oh, boy. Neely's he's testing those earplugs tonight. But we will talk some Dokken here later. Not right now. Right now, that was Legions of Doom, which features Carl Legel from COC on vocals there. Just a band. I interviewed Ron Holzner of the band, and that's you want to talk about a weird band, dude? And I know you know nothing about this, but so you have this band, Legions of Doom, which is also the guys that are the band, The Skull.
Okay.
And they wrote songs with Eric Wagner, who was in The Skull and also in Trouble, the band Trouble. And most of these guys are also in the band Trouble. So I don't know why they have all these bands. I don't know
Right.
how one is different from the other, but apparently one is different from the other, and Legions of Doom is kick-ass, and if you like that kind of desert rock type of a thing, it is definitely worth checking out. So,
Sounded good to me.
yeah, it's good stuff there. And I don't actually remember what else we played. I know we played something from Airborne, and I don't remember what the other song was. Who gives a fuck? You heard it, you didn't.
Dude, it was 5150. It was a 4K, an upgraded version of 5150 from the fucking amazing Live Without a Net release. So
That was pretty solid, right?
Oh, dude. Live Without a Net is fucking untouchably great.
Yeah, it is. Great set. I love that shit. But one thing that I know both of us love, wrestling, and then wrestling. That being said, I am not real happy with the direction wrestling is going in these days. I am very, very not happy. And when I say I'm not happy with it, I'm not happy with a lot of it.
Okay.
We will talk about the Mr. McMahon, because that was the one homework piece that I gave you to do. I'm not happy about that, and we'll talk about that in a minute. But before we talk about that, I want to talk about, let's talk about some other wrestling stuff. Let's start with AEW, because I don't have as much problem with that, but dude, they are a fucking sinking ship, and I hate it. They are going the way of WCW.
Oh.
Just signing all of Vince's cast-offs and no storytelling anymore. It's all just about matches. The storylines are few and far between. And now they're starting to do the bullshit that Vince has done for years. Are you familiar with the tag team, the Lucha Brothers?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So the Lucha Brothers, they're a tag team, really. Ultimately, they're a tag team. And as a tag team, they're shitting on backstage talent? No.
Oh, sorry.
No, not that kind of
Vince.
tag team.
Yeah, sorry. My bad.
We're not to Vince yet. But as a tag team, they came into AEW. They were AEW originals. They've decided to leave. They did it honorably. They just didn't re-sign a contract. Mm-hmm. They took the offer. They didn't like it, and they went and they signed with WWE, which should, in theory, be fair. I would think. Mm-hmm. I would think that would be fair enough. But no. Fucking Tony Khan, the owner of AEW, since Penta, one of the two, or Ray Phoenix rather, was hurt during some of the time, they're adding a year to his contract. Even though his brother is already signed and they are a tag team. So he's basically adding a year to his contract to fuck the WWE. And fuck those guys, because what can they do?
Yeah.
So in theory, you're gonna get Penta's gonna go to WWE as a singles guy, and he might make some traction as a singles guy, at which point then they bring in the brother. And what are they gonna do with the brother in AEW? They're gonna job him out to everybody.
Yeah.
He's going to come in and just lay down for every new talent that comes in. It's just a shitty. It's the shit. That is a shitty business. If I got anything from the Mr. McMahon documentary, the wrestling business is like The Sopranos. Every single person is hateable.
Yeah.
There's not one likable person in WWE or in wrestling, is there?
The Rock.
Even he has his issues. I mean, he's not exactly beloved by everybody either. I mean, the fans love him, but backstage there's a lot of shit about him with his nepotism and everything else, that.
Yeah, it's true.
And that when he got famous, he fucking aborted mission and left. And,
right.
I mean, he's done some shit. So these guys are really fucking scumbags. Now, on to why I am most annoyed with these scumbags. Because this is a scummy move. We as fans, and jump in anywhere you want, man. Sure. We as fans have always known that they were kind of scumbags, but we didn't care because we liked the entertainment, yes?
100%.
And wrestling has always been a thing that you could kind of afford to do. You know what I mean? Like, if wrestling came to the wherever, you could go. And it was, $20-$30. You could go. You could have a good time, right?
Yep.
Look at this bullshit. So they announced WrestleMania this week. It's going to be in at Allegiant Stadium in Vegas. Look at this fucking shit. I can't believe it. I'm so angry about this. Where is it? Why is this not showing up? Hold on. Why is
it's like the first weekend in April or something again?
April 19th and 20th.
Ooh, it's a little bit later. Okay.
Yeah, April 19th and 20th.
By the way, I do have to say that the whole 2 days of WrestleMania thing is just stupid.
I hate that too because, I mean, I thought they did well with it last year, but there's just not that much to. The bottom line is what used to make WrestleMania great was it was the best of the best.
Yep.
Now it's just, we got to get 14 matches out of it, which means we're getting 28 guys, which means it's not the best of the best anymore.
Well, and they add shit like a week or two ahead of time. Like, that's not cool.
Yeah, no.
I mean, you and I grew up in the era of like the original WrestleManias. Like the very first WrestleMania that I really remember giving a shit about, and I was watching it a couple years before that, but it was WrestleMania 3, and it was an entire year of the Hogan Andre build up, and you're like, holy shit, dude!
Yeah.
Like I watched that shit scrambled. Like it was fucking Skinamax, dude. Like I was watching that shit scramble, just listening to the audio.
Yeah, just to hear if he could slam him and beat us.
Yeah, and it was like you got a whole year of build up. You're waiting for this huge now it's like 4 days before WrestleMania. Oh, here comes fucking Dickhead 1 versus Dickhead 2.
Yeah, exactly.
And we're supposed to care. Like who the fuck cares? That's like a house show match.
Yeah, and for the weeks before it, it's here they are in a tag match, and here they are in a strap match and a no holds barred, and we're gonna solve this in a ladder match at WrestleMania. It's like, get the fuck out of here with this shit.
Right.
But I'll tell you what, I sure as fuck can't afford to go anymore. Look at this shit. Ringside seats for WrestleMania, $50,000 each night.
Wow.
50 grand. 30 grand to sit in rows 2 and 3.
Now, are we sure that that's like face value, or is this just some asshole reselling? Because that's a big deal, right? You know the whole ticket thing.
It's dude. And I'm not sure of it, but I know this. I know at last year's WrestleMania, because me and Neely pulled this up at one point. We went to the food thing, and somebody posted the food shit up there. And to get a hamburger and fries and a Coke was like $45. Was fucking ridiculous.
Fucking unbelievable.
They signed with TKO. They signed this big deal, and now they're just. And it's not just WrestleMania. I'm not bringing this up because it's just WrestleMania. It makes me really sickened that it is WrestleMania. Not that I was going to go anyway, but, it's the same reason I didn't go to SummerSlam that was here.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Tickets for SummerSlam to sit in average seats were $400.
Yeah, I'm trying to think. As a season ticket holder for the Browns, I got an email ahead of time, and if I remember right, if you really jumped on it, some decent seats were like 300, and that was like close to like the ramp and all that kind of shit, so you could actually see the wrestlers and stuff. But I mean, I got to be honest, man. I mean, for $300 or $400 to see an event like that, I don't mind that. I don't think it's a big deal, dude. I just spent really glad my wife doesn't pay attention to this show. I just spent $600 on a pair of front row tickets at Radio City Music Hall to see Dream Theater. We're
dumb.
Well, go fuck yourself. By the way, someone was saying best guitar album of 2009 was La Raza by Armored Saint. No, it was Black Clouds and Silver Linings by Dream Theater.
Yeah,
anyway,
heard that.
yeah, that's okay. I didn't type it in the chat. But anyways, so yeah, it's like, I don't mind that because it's at like a legendary venue. I'm right up close. I mean, so that's cool. So I don't mind that. And I guess $300 or $400 for SummerSlam for an event like that, like the second biggest thing. I mean, that's just the way things are going. But when you're talking about other shit, like shows that are like, for nosebleeds, like I mean, obviously this 50,000 and 30,000 that you got on the screen, there's no way that's face value. But I know that face value, like for SummerSlam, was over $1,000 for like ringside shit, and it's like, well, what is that? Like, who can afford that crap unless you got fuck you money?
And I mean, and it goes further than this. I know, here in Cleveland, they're talking about a new Browns stadium. Now, you're a season ticket holder, and you've already told me you can't afford the season tickets if they build the new stadium.
Oh, there's not a chance.
And this is how many years have you been a season ticket holder?
Was
10,
right
15, 20?
I think actually it's going on 15. I think this is our 15th year. Yeah.
So
because it was right when Steph and I
years.
met. Yeah.
Yeah. So 15 years season ticket holder, and you're being priced out for what? It's not because the product is so much better.
Yeah.
You're being priced out because they're building a new building. That's it. It's the only reason, because of greed.
Yep. The rich get richer, man. I mean, it's
and you're paying for it anyway with taxes and and everything else. So you're paying for a stadium that they're going to tell you you're not allowed to go in.
I know and that's the part that burns my ass is like I've been doing this for so long, and not only, and this, not only am I paying for the tickets, but when you get there, I'm buying beers, I'm buying cheeseburgers, merchandise. Like, I mean, the amount of money that
50 just to park if you drive down there.
Well, actually, I know a free lot that's a close walk.
So you're that guy.
I am that guy.
But if you were,
if I wasn't,
people,
yeah.
And
if you're talking
50 a hit,
yeah, and that's so that's $400 a season.
Yeah.
Plus all the fucking merch and the food and everything. Yeah, I mean, and then when they built this fucking thing, I mean, exactly to your point, I mean, they raised our ticket prices 30% this year. So literally my monthly payment, because they make you do a monthly installment thing unless you pay in a chunk, which I don't do. It's like $368 a month.
Jesus.
And that was with and when this other, when they build this fucking dome here, those ticket prices are going to go up maybe double, if not more. And I'm like, I can't do that shit. There's no way.
So answer me this question. How do you get $350 worth of value out of 2 games in October? How do you justify that in your head? That you're such a hardcore fan that you have to be there? Or do you really come out of it going, it was fucking fantastic to see Deshaun Watson throw for 160 yards?
What's up, everybody? Welcome to the Dog Pound Details.
Yeah, no shit.
Dude, because it's a monthly payment, to me, it's just like another bill, like paying a credit card bill. And honestly, dude, like I've been watching the Browns since January of '86. I mean, I haven't missed a single regular season or playoff kickoff. Sure. Since then. So to me, it's like it's ingrained in me. It's a family thing that, my grandpa and my uncle, they were like, dude, we're Browns fans, and so it's just what I do. And so I never really think about it. I will say, and this is, going to sound stupid, but I do think about it when they start really playing like shit. And I have been caught on camera a couple times, actually, marching up the street from the stadium screaming, "What the fuck? I spent all this fucking money for this fucking bullshit." Like, so,
Well,
and
funny-
honestly, dude, the reason I keep doing it, like, again, not to be a fag, dude, it's a awesome, like, Steph, you know, she loves the Browns like I do, and it's a fucking awesome time for us to both go and fucking just nerd out on the Browns and shit, and
I get all that, but at the same time, and again, I'm playing devil's advocate as somebody that will not pay that.
Yeah.
To me, what I pay to watch it at home is enough.
Yeah.
Which is nothing, you know.
Yeah. Well, I mean, and dude, to your point though, dude, when they raised the prices this year, she and I had a serious talk, and it was led by her, and she loves going to the games, dude. You know, she's all about.
I've been with her.
She's like, I don't want to fucking. This is ridiculous. This price is getting ridiculous. And even I was like, eh. And I said, we'll do it one more season. Let's see what happens next year. But when these prices go up, she said, I will not even let you. Even if you want to pay those prices for a dome, fuck that. We ain't doing it. Like, it's not as much fun as we have. It's not worth it to her because that price is just, outrageous.
Well, and the thing that's got to be, and again, this is what grates me the most is you are a loyal person to this team.
Yeah.
And they just don't give a fuck. They're like, okay, we know you're stupid. That's how they treat you. They treat you like, we know you're stupid and you'll keep spending the money.
Yep.
And that's shitty. That is so beyond shitty, man.
But that's with everything, though.
I know.
mean, let's face it, at the core of everything, they're running a fucking business. I mean,
I get
why
that.
do you think that? I mean, quick little comment that's specific only to us. But why do you think they're still running fucking Deshaun Watson's rapist ass out there? Because they spent $250 million on him. They're like, fuck you, dude. We're gonna throw you out there until your fucking legs fall off.
Dead. Exactly.
Yeah,
they don't.
It's a fucking business. I'm nothing more than a means to an end.
No, you're an ATM machine to them.
Exactly.
You are a transaction. That's what you are.
But to the point that you always make, dude, I just want entertainment. I don't need these. So I'm entertained. So fucking I'll do it. But yeah, I mean, none of them care, dude.
And here's where it gets into my head. It gets into my head when you call me in the middle of the third quarter during a game, and you'll be like, hey, man, what are you doing? I'll be like, I'm watching the game. And you'll be like, me and Steph are going over to Christie's right now if you want to come over, you know, and that's in the middle of the game. You're so done with the fucking team that you're running to the tit bar.
Yep.
And it's like, all right, so you're spending $300 a month, so $350. So you're spending $175 plus parking, plus food and whatever. You're spending $250 to be there, and they're playing to the level that you're ready to go and spend another $150 at the tit bar because that's more entertaining than what you already paid for.
Yeah,
and that sucks.
Yeah, dude. A couple seasons ago. It was a few years ago at this point, but we literally went to 2.5 games. We paid the entire season, and we basically I was like, fuck this, dude. I am so over this sucky shit. But the next, I was like, we're not doing this next year. It was one of my public fits walking down the street. I'm like, fuck this. And then the renewal came, and I was watching Browns highlight videos. I'm like, take my money. Fuck yeah, go Browns. I'm that guy, dude. I'm a total shill. I wish I wasn't, but I am.
You are a homer.
Oh yeah, I mean, I'm exactly the person that you're talking about that gets sucked in by this shit, dude.
See, and I am so now. I have gotten to the point now where I don't want to go to anything. I just don't want to go. Like, it has to be at the Roxino for me to even consider it.
Right.
Because I know it's close. I know the parking's free. I know that I can get in and out of there with a ticket for $100. Because that's kind of where my and maybe this is wrong, but that's where my entertainment dollar is. $100 is worth an evening of entertainment for me.
Right.
You spending what'd you say, $600 or whatever on Dream Theater tickets?
Yeah.
Plus you got to drive. Are you driving or flying?
It's gonna be, dude. There's 5 of us going. It's gonna be way cheaper to drive. Yeah.
So $300 in gas. Yeah.
Oh yeah, and then the hotel room.
Hotel room is going to be in Manhattan. That's going to be $500 a night.
Actually, it's more affordable than you would think, but I get where you're going. So
Yeah, I mean, you're looking at thousands of dollars for one night, for 2.5 hours.
yeah,
$500 an hour. No, $1,000 an hour.
right. But see, the Dream Theater thing is different because I know exactly what I'm getting. Like, I'm going to go in there. I'm going to have a fucking kick-ass time. And especially going with Dominic, my stepson, dude. Like, it's like it's a fucking kind of a guy's night out, and especially doing the Dream Theater podcast. Like, I'm actually going to meet up with people that actually watch my dumb show or listen to it. So, it's an experience. And like you and I have talked about so many times, like you and I are both like exactly the same in terms of we would rather spend our money on going and doing something and having an experience rather than buying a thing that'll just sit on the shelf or something.
Right.
So, that money to me is worth it, and, and it makes me stupid being a Browns fan because I don't know what I'm going to get. I spend the money every year, but I'm going to get fucking disappointed time after time, and yet I still do it. Like, so I don't mind, the Dream Theater thing because I know I'm going to go see a fucking band I love. It's going to be a kick-ass set list. It's at a fucking world-class venue. It's like, my stepson gets to see Radio City Music Hall. My family gets to go to New York City. So that money, to me, is well spent.
Right.
Whereas the sports thing, I mean, you're exactly right. Like, it's basically just wiping your ass with $100 bills,
Mm-hmm. Well, and that's why I know I share this with you all the time, and I share it with the audience, too. It's why I'm starting to get into some other shit. Like, I'm totally into this bare-knuckle fighting. I love it.
Yes.
I love it. It's brutal. It's also cheap because it's new. So if it comes to Cleveland, you better bet your ass I will be sitting right now next to the Trigon.
I'm going with you.
It's so fun. And what do you think it costs? $20? Wouldn't it be worth $20 to see 20 guys try to murder each other?
Dude, and it's going to be in like a VFW hall.
Yeah.
Like indie wrestling or something, and these guys just making nothing. Like, if you handed them a cheeseburger, it'd be like, that would be like their pay for the night. Like, fuck yeah, thanks for feeding me, bro. And it coming out of my $50 that I'm making.
but it is, I love that kind of stuff. I've really gotten into that. I've gotten into the other one, the BKFC, the Bare Knuckle Fighting Championship. There's actually two federations of this shit. But I love it. I watch it. I literally watched BYB all day today, Bare Knuckle, which is the one in the triangle.
Right.
I must have watched 8 hours of it today. And I can't tell you a single name of a fighter. I have no idea. I don't know any of these guys.
Right.
He's the guy that got all fucking bloodied up and cut up. That's what I know. That's the guy that got knocked. Dude, I watched one yesterday. A guy got knocked out in 5 fucking seconds. They rang the bell. The one guy came out and went, whoop, 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 and the guy fucking fell right unconscious. Like, he fell in a way that, like, his arm was hanging on the rope, and he was out cold. I was like, damn.
Right. I just remember when you first told me about this like a couple months ago, and we were on the phone, and I looked it up as your top was like, oh, I found like best knockouts or something. Yeah. And right as I'm watching, I was like, oh shit, this guy got hit, and the dude just absolutely got clocked, and you see his tooth just go flying out of his face.
It's great.
Oh my god. I was like, god damn. Like,
yeah, it's so violent and so brutal.
See, that's the thing that, YouTube would shut you down, maybe. But man, if we pulled up like highlights of this shit, we just commentate on these fucking knockouts of this shit.
Let's do that right now. What the fuck?
There we go.
We ain't in any real mode.
Look at Lion's Eye in the chat. BKFC, the Burger King Football Championship.
Hey, make fun all you want. Make fun all you want. BKFC and BYB, far better.
Wait a minute.
Better than UFC.
Is that Kale McLeish?
Might be. I don't know. Might be.
Oh my god! If that's Kale, I love you, man. Anyway, all right.
So let's watch these guys. Let's watch some. This is the BKFC. These are just highlights. These guys just fucking whomp each other. I love it.
Jesus!
Down goes Greg Hardy.
Bang! Fuck yeah! See?
Oh my god! Look at
who doesn't want to watch this? Why would you watch anything else sports-wise?
Oh my God.
Why would you watch the fucking Browns when you can watch this?
That's amazing.
And look at him. His eyes almost falling out. Covered with blood.
Oh
This
my
is the
God.
shit. Dude, I noticed they don't advertise it as much now, but they used to in every single fight or at the beginning of every single show, they would say, "We're the only sport with a 90% knockout rate." 90%.
So you're the exact demographic that they're aiming for, is what you're telling me.
Yes. I am the guy that wants to see guys just murder each other in the ring. But this stuff, it's a slow progression. Like as a kid, I grew up loving boxing. Went to it all the time, my dad took me all the time to see boxing. Even in the military, I've told the story many times. I sat with Roy Jones Jr.'s dad in Seoul at the Olympics. And when he got fucked over, Roy Jones's dad started a fight and we all jumped in with him. It was great in the stands. I mean, it was a fucking thing. So I love boxing. But then the UFC came along, and I'm talking early UFC, not today's UFC, the kind where it was like, just beat the shit out of each other, and then if you win, you come back in 30 minutes and do it again with the next guy.
Hoist Gracie against a 450-pound fat guy.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And I loved that.
Yep.
Loved that. And it made me forget about boxing. And then when UFC got organized, it made me forget about the other UFC.
Yep.
And now that we have this kind of just straight violence or power slap or whatever, it's making me forget about the UFC because this is more violent. At some point, I'm ready for just guys come in with swords and just kill each other.
Legalize murder.
I'm ready for the Roman, the Roman style. Just bring them in a ring and let them kill each other. One guy, the Spartacus type deal.
Are you not entertained?
Yes. Wouldn't that be? Tell me you wouldn't watch it.
I'm not going to lie. I would watch it.
You'd absolutely watch it. I mean, we would watch it. And this is as close to Spartacus era as we can get.
Yep.
Let's watch some more knockouts here.
Frazier looks like he's just waiting for that right hand. He's got it cocked and ready to go. Ready for that to explode.
Overhand right lands.
Jesus.
Another right hand. Down goes Terry Brazier for the second time in this fight.
And Brazier keeps standing there with that left hand down, and that's what happened right there. Got knocked out from it.
This fight is over. And
You got to remember, those are bare knuckles. There's no gloves here.
Yeah, I know. Dude, you know what they need to make this better though? What? They need the super slow-mo replays like UFC. Because in UFC, when you watch UFC and you're like, the guy goes down, like, it looks like he barely got hit. But then in between rounds, you see like the super slow-mo, you're like, oh God, he got destroyed. Like they need that in here so you could really see the knuckles just destroying the guy's jaw and shit. How do they not break their hands, by the way?
Well, some of them
Have you ever
do.
wondered that?
Dude, I watched one yesterday. Mark the Shark. I forget what his last name is, but I know he's known as Mark the Shark, and he was a champion at one point.
Right.
He got hit so hard in the ribs that his rib was sticking out, and he kept on fighting. And the other guy kept punching him in the rib and then shaking his hand because he was punching a sticking out rib. It was fucking crazy.
That's some Sabu duct taping his tricep back on.
Yeah,
shit right
I love
there.
it. The worse, the better. If I had my way with this, they would find some way to put microphones in the tape. So that when you hear them crunch somebody in the face, you hear that. I would love that, man. That would be so much better, wouldn't it? Wouldn't that be great?
Dude, I'm with you. Like the more violent, the better. At this point, let's do it. And is it wrong that I could totally see you doing this shit?
Oh yeah, dude. I used to in
the way you fight. Oh my God, I can't even imagine.
Well, when I was in the Army, I did the Army fight, the Army boxing. And I did not do well. I will tell the honest to God truth. I entered a tournament. I thought I was a badass. I won my first fight pretty easily, actually. I knocked a guy. I didn't knock him out, but he just didn't continue midway through a second round because I just beat him to death nearly. And then my next fight, again, it was like one of them smoker tournament things. Next fight, 30 minutes later, I ran into a guy that was some kind of semi-pro or something. And I got in. I started fighting a little bit. I tagged him a couple times, like boom, boom, boom. Hit him a couple times, like fuck yeah. I'm getting this motherfucker. Wop, 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 wop. And I was on the ground. And I was like, what the fuck had just happened? and I got up and I was really woozy. And this guy came up, and I'm sure it wasn't like this, but in my face, in my brain, it was like this. It was like the Bionic Man. It was like whop, 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 boom, and he hit me, and I just was like, fuck, and I just laid down, man.
So basically, you ran into somebody who knew what he was doing.
Yes.
He let you get a few in to see what, and he realized this guy don't know what the fuck he's doing.
And that's probably what it was.
Annihilated you.
he was sizing me up a little bit, and then
right.
And then he just fucking kicked my ass out, you know.
That's awesome.
But I've done that, and I've done a couple Cleveland Smokers, and I've won a few. I remember when they used to have the old Cleveland Smokers, when you could just sign up and they would just call your number. You would just sign up at the convention center or whatever, and they would be like, number 31, number 12, and you just come up and fucking fight. And I did a few. I mean, I like to fight. I used to. I think I'm too old for it now, but you know, I don't.
Too old for it, please.
The things that make you good at it, I don't think I could do anymore. I don't think I have the. I don't have the drive for it. I still think I could take a punch. I'm sure I could still get punched in the face and just laugh it off, because that never bothered me.
If we were out and someone fucked with somebody and a fight started, you would still murder somebody. Mm-hmm. You might fall over and shit because of all your injuries and everything, but you would you'd be like, get me up. We'd be lifting you up so you could go fucking run somebody down.
When I snap, and you've seen that.
Oh,
you've seen it numerous times, but
hell yeah.
The most recent was at the Slayer show when the guy fucking went back to hit Stephanie.
Yep.
And I damn near fucking knocked him dead. The cop that was pulling him out, everything.
Right.
I went after it. I didn't give a fuck.
I always remember be hollering at the police. Everybody, get that guy out of here. He's gonna kill him. Get that the other guy. Tell him to get that guy out of he's gonna kill him. Get that fucking guy out of here. He will kill him.
All I really remember is when I was trying to calm down, and then Stephanie said, "I grabbed your hair and you dragged me anyway."
Yeah.
She grabbed me by the hair and I still dragged her down the fucking steps while I was punching that guy in the face.
Yep. Yep. See,
when was that? That was what, like 6 years ago?
Might be even more at this point.
It
but
more
yeah,
at this point?
Yeah. This freeze frame is exactly what goes on in your head as soon as a fight happens. That's your brain, like, let's go.
Well, the hardest part, and anybody that's ever been in more than one or two fights knows this. The hardest part after a fight, which I don't know how these guys do it, is coming off it. Man, it takes me 30, 40 minutes to shake off the rage. I mean, I'm mad, and then I can't just be like, okay, well, let's get back to the fucking concert.
Right.
I can't do it. I'm seeing red for an hour before I'm just like, all right, I'm good now.
Right. Well, it's probably like we talk about stage juice.
Yeah.
Like, you can't go to sleep immediately after doing the CMS. Like, and for me, like after doing a show, like, with the band, like I can't, like, I'm just like so fucking amped up. Like, yeah, and the fighting thing is probably the exact same thing. Mm-hmm. You've got all that adrenaline coursing through, especially getting hit and everything, and your body is trying to, immediately like, heal up and all that kind of shit. Like, it's got to be a bitch.
Yeah. I never minded getting hit too bad. I really didn't. I mean, the only time I ever mind is if I ever got hit by something. But a fist, that didn't. Probably the worst fight I ever got in was in Korea. I ended up banging this one guy's girlfriend, and he got wind of it, and he came at me at a bar, and I didn't know he got wind of it. So he came up, he's like, "Hey, what's up?" And I was like, "Hey, come on," and boom, this motherfucker hit me square in between the eyes, and he had a roll of quarters in his hand, knocked me to fuck, like laid me out, like because I got hit in the head with the quarters.
Right.
And he was standing over me. He's like, "You better never fucking talk to Denise again, you mother." And I was like, "Fuck, okay, whatever." And then I did. I was like,
I was gonna say, yeah,
didn't stop me, but for
ends.
that minute, no, I ended up dating that Denise girl for like 2 or 3 months.
Right.
But whatever. All right, let's watch a couple more of these fights, and then we'll get back to wrestling.
Yes.
The victory for David Round in round number 3.
Yeah.
Right now is the range that Caleb Harris wants on the outside.
Oh!
David never left out. Back shots from Caleb Harris. Right hand again.
Jesus.
Man, Harris is looking fantastic.
Why wouldn't you watch this?
Holy fuck.
Now, you can watch Deshaun Watson or this.
Right? And dude, and this stuff is like regulated. The other stuff we were watching, like you said, was like it's like fucking the ring. It's like in someone's garage with like fucking hay bales as a ring.
No,
yes, we have. Are you kidding me?
We've watched some of that, but this. I like this. I like the more regulated stuff. I like this, and I like the BYB.
No, wait a minute. How do you like the more regulated shit? We just got through talking about you like more
as
violent
opposed to 2 guys fighting in the fucking back of a barn.
The hell's wrong with that? They don't even tape their hands.
They don't have good camera work.
Fuck that. It's basically like 2 dudes got fucking ass face hammered and got into a fight at a party. It's fucking awesome.
Let me see if I can find some BYB ones. Is this BYB? No. Oh, there's the hay bales. There you go.
See, there it is.
Oh! God damn.
I told you. It's so good. Their fucking knuckles are barely taped. It's just fucking idiots in someone's fucking garage. Look at this shit. And they try to put like branding on the hay bales.
Yeah, on the hay bales.
Exactly.
Hey, come to Pinball PA. It's like $30 for a fucking sponsorship to this.
Right? It's their buddies like fucking lawn mowing business. That's the sponsor.
That's right.
BYB Barnyard Bales.
Barnyard Bales. One more, and then we'll get back to wrestling because I got some more wrestling stuff.
Sure.
Love it.
Holy shit.
Just fucking murderous.
Look at this ring. It's just rope for ropes.
Borrow these ropes from a boat or something. Jesus Christ, are you kidding?
Dude, you have to get these guys on Chris Aker Presents or something. Find one of these guys. Like, what do you get paid for this?
Oh, dude, we had a UFC guy, and he said he made nothing on
That's
the
what I
show.
want to know. Like these guys are like, here's $25 or something. It's like old
it can't
school,
be
like,
much.
Indie wrestling.
I mean, look, this one is sponsored by the Gramda Fight Club. I mean, what the fuck is the Gramda Fight Club? Right. I'm not smashing on it. I'm sure it's a fine organization, but
oh my!
What do you think they paid to have their name on this thing? $30?
Well, I mean, and that's after they paid $75 to have that logo made.
Yeah, Jesus. Yeah, right. All right, let's see what these guys do.
Yeah.
Kolejny prawy, za chwilę będzie koniec walki, knockout. No, błyskawiczny, niesamowity jest, proszę państwa.
Drugi, ależ energia w tych ciosach, dynamika.
Oh my God.
Now, why wouldn't you watch this?
This is amazing.
It's the best.
Holy shit, man.
All right, one more. Boink! It's better than Dustin Hopkins.
Right? How is that not number 1? By the way, look at this. It's top 50 most brutal knockouts, and this thing is only 12 and a half minutes long.
Yeah, because each one is like 3 seconds.
Dude, that guy got fucking tagged, and then he crumples, and the guy kicks him in the face.
Kicks him in the head anyway.
Oh my
Твои проблемы с дыханием.
Аплодисменты бойцам! Я не слышу вас!
You know what's the worst? It's like these last couple, like, dude, the guy gets hit, and then he's coming back forward and goes and leans right into a second one.
Right into a second shot.
My God, that shit is. I know what I'm watching when we go off the air.
Fuck yeah.
Holy crap, man. Whew.
All right, let's get out of this because otherwise we're just going to do this for an hour and a half.
I know.
And I will because I love it. But
I will too, man.
All right, so let's swing back to the wrestling for a minute. So one of the exciting news stories in wrestling, other than this ridiculous pricing for the WrestleMania, was that they were putting out this documentary on Netflix, Mr. McMahon. And as a wrestling fan, and especially knowing all the shit that's going on with Vince these days, I was actually excited to see this. I thought it was going to be good. I thought we were going to learn a whole bunch of stuff. I committed to 6 hours to watching the whole goddamn thing.
I did too.
And for me, it was a load of shit that I already knew.
Yep.
I don't think there was two things out of the whole thing that I did not know.
There was some behind the scenes shit that I wasn't aware of, but not much at all. And I mean, it was definitely like, I mean, dude, I feel like even Netflix like glossed over a bunch of shit. Like they could have, they've done a smear job on so many different things through the documentaries that they put out. And this was just absolutely pussified.
It was.
It was, you know, I mean, they kind of set it up right at the beginning when, you know, the first thing Vince says, they're like, oh, tell us stories. Oh, I can't tell you the stories. I'll give you just enough to make it interesting. So you knew right off the bat, there's not going to be anything in there, you know. I mean, even they get to Jimmy Snuka thing. Oh, supposedly he beat a woman to
yeah, they glossed right over that.
It's like
Your
a
biggest
sentence
star
and a half.
killed somebody.
Yeah, he beat a chick to death. Like, and you devote like a fucking, you know, 30 seconds to that. Like, if you're gonna do this Mr. McMahon thing, like, what is the point of this? That's my takeaway, dude.
Mm-hmm.
I have two takeaways. Number one, why the fuck would you do this if you're not going to expose things?
Right.
And number two, Bruce Pritchard,
At the end.
Yeah, dude, like, obviously, am I getting his name right? What's Dr. Love or what's his Brother Love?
Brother Love.
Yeah. So Bruce Pritchard, dude, that guy obviously knows where all the fucking bodies are buried, and he's getting paid so much fucking money.
Right.
Like, that's the thing. Like, you know, and those are my two takeaways. All the rest of it, like you said, like we already know this crap. I mean, it's
There was nothing, and not for nothing, but I don't need to hear, as a wrestling fan, stop with the Montreal screw job. We've all heard it a million times. They have their own documentaries about it. So does A&E. It doesn't need to be in the Netflix thing.
Well, now, I do have to mention this. Did you notice that the story changed regarding the Montreal screw job?
In what way?
Did you notice? In this, because the story that we had always heard was that, you know, Brett went to take a shower and Vince was and Brett told him, "What if you're here when I get out of the shower, I'm gonna knock you the fuck out." And Vince was standing there, and so he roundhoused him.
Yeah.
Well, now in this, it was, oh no, we tied up like it was a wrestling match, and then I uppercutted him and knocked him out. Like, okay, so I mean, even that, like the story all of a sudden changes. Like, it's I mean, it's just not. Nothing's consistent, and it's obviously, like you said, things are glossed over, and really, who gave a shit?
I mean, I liked the way that they were trying to fuse it together to say, and that launched the Attitude Era, and this launched Ruthless Aggression, and blah blah. Okay, but the casual fan, which is who I think this thing was for, I honestly think this was some sort of softcore way of introducing wrestling to Netflix, which will be on Netflix starting in January. when Raw or SmackDown, whichever one, is going to be on Netflix. You know, I think that's what it was just some softball way to introduce casuals to it. But I don't know. I was very disappointed. I'm telling everybody that if you know anything about wrestling, don't bother.
Yes. Yep.
Because it's 6 hours that you won't get back. They glossed over Chris Benoit. You know, I would have liked to known some of the Chris Benoit stuff. I would have liked to have known some of the Bret Hart or the Owen Hart stuff.
Yep.
They glossed over that with just the same old bullshit that we get all the time.
Now, I will say this. The one thing they did with Owen Hart, you may have seen this, but I had not. Because I've, read a whole ton of shit about that whole situation, and they said, oh, we're wrestling right next to Owen Hart's blood in the ring. I'd never seen footage of that, but they show a couple very gratuitous shots of the guys standing there waiting to be tagged into a match, and there's huge smear of blood right there.
Right.
And it's like, yeah, my God. But that one right there, I mean, honestly, that was kind of worth it, because you see him going like, oh, well, the show, it's entertainment. The show has to go on. Like he didn't even, when he has a chance to get out of that, he doesn't even take the out there. It's like, no, the show doesn't go on, dude. This fucking guy died.
Yeah. Died in front of a crowd of 20,000
Yeah.
people.
But what he says is, well, thank God we were in a blackout. Like if we weren't on a blackout, so if the pay-per-view
that makes it better.
Exactly. Like what the fuck, dude? Like, and he talks about business, and it's like, fuck that. Like,
fuck the business.
Yeah. And he, the whole
but we already knew that. We already knew that he made a shitty decision and carried on the show.
Yep.
And the only thing that was fresh to me was, because I guess I just didn't get it at the time, was Jeff Jarrett going, "Oh my God, Owen, we're here for you, brother. We hope you're okay, whatever."
Oh yeah.
And you're not getting these puppies, and then he snaps right into character, and I was like, ugh,
dude,
how shitty is that?
Did you notice Deborah over his shoulder, like not even getting into character? She was like sitting there trying to not cry. She's like crying as he goes into the promo.
But it was so dumb to him going, "Oh my God, Owen, our hearts are with you and we hope everything's okay. And Rock, you're not getting those titties. You're not." I was like, Jesus, dude.
Got to make that paycheck. I mean, he didn't really have an option when you think about it.
No, he didn't, but he could have just ignored the Owen Hart bit.
Yeah.
And done his promo.
Well, but I mean, that guy was like, he and Owen Hart were like super close. They were really, really close.
Which means, in that sense, maybe you don't do the promo or the match.
Well, but I mean, we learned like Vince would have fucking, find him or canned him or fight. Like, I mean, dude, like, I mean, I get it. Like, Vince says it's a smear job, and we always knew Vince was a piece of shit. But say what you want. I mean, the guy is a piece of shit. They go into the family thing about Stephanie and Shane and all this crap, and it's like, like, I mean, the Shane McMahon stuff is the thing that kind of really hammered it home to me, because you can say all you want about, oh, it's a smear job on me. Mm-hmm. Oh, this is not how it happened. But when they show all the Shane shit, we saw it live on pay-per-view. The dude is getting smashed through glass. He's jumping off a 20-foot fucking steel cage. Would you let your kid do that? Like, I wouldn't. I'd be like, get the fuck out of there. Like, we pay these other guys to do that. You're not doing this shit. But Vince didn't care because it's business. Like, the guy is, he's a pice of shit. And
he is a piece of shit. But
we know it, but it's just this proves it. And when he says it's a smear job, it's like, no, it's just, but what you're doing is reinforcing what we already know.
I would have rather seen 2 hours on the Janelle Grant stuff and a whole lot less on anything before it.
Yes, dude, and they didn't even mention it.
Barely touched it.
Yeah,
they just were like, "Oh, he said some mean things, and there were some mean tweets."
Yeah, in 2024, Vince got in a little bit of trouble.
Yeah, and he refused to do interviews. So that's it. Yep. Thanks for watching.
And then the one sentence about the other person mentioned was Brock Lesnar. Like, okay.
Thanks. Yeah, sure, Brock was thrilled about that.
Yeah. And to your point, dude, like, basically what this was a history of WWE with a sprinkle of Vince McMahon's a piece of shit.
Pretty much,
why are we you nailed it. It's for the average fan. Like, so who the fuck cares? Like,
exactly.
Yeah,
so I think both of our recommendation is, if you know anything about wrestling, don't bother.
I would still watch it just because it's cool to see some of that old stuff.
A lot of hours, though, man.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I still like watching it because it's old school wrestling. And even if you know what, dude, but I'm one of those nerds. I mean, you know this. I'm a huge behind the scenes guy, and if like you said, you got 2 new pieces of information for me, that's worth it. I'm like, oh, I know some more shit. Like I like that. Right. So for me, I would watch it for that. But you know, I understand why you would not recommend
Yeah, I'm
it.
just kind of like I'd like to have those 6 hours back. I could have watched something else, but I do know this though. When we talk about wrestling, and specifically me and you, there's one topic we always fight about.
Yes.
That is who is the hottest chick.
Let's go. Let's go.
I've come with props, ready to go.
It's going to be biased. This is going to be some Donald Trump shit.
I gave other options too, and I've got options.
Okay.
So I want the chat room participation in this as well.
I'm going to lose on this. I am almost positive I will lose, but I don't fucking care.
That's fine. Me and you, are absolutely in lust with female wrestlers. Is that fair?
You are more than me.
I am definitely. Female, because they're hot, they're in shape, but they're not so in shape that they're gross. You know, they're just fitness perfect. So what I've done is I gathered up 8 what I think are the top 8. And this could vary. Obviously, everybody's choices are a little different.
God, we're about to get super misogynistic here.
Yeah, we are. Yeah, we're going to totally go to where we're not supposed to go. But it's the Classic Metal Show. That's what we do here. So let's bring up, we will start with number 8.
Okay.
Tori Wilson.
Total bitch.
I don't care if she's a bitch.
I met her. I met her and Stacy Keibler, and they were cunts.
She's hot, though.
She's very, very hot.
She's definitely smoking hot. And again, this is a hotness poll, not a bitch poll.
Okay.
Okay.
Look at the chat. Studley hung with Mae Young.
Mae Young and Nicole Bass.
There we go. Where's the fabulous Moolah?
She should be in there as well.
But yes, Tori Wilson.
What was the other one? Bull Nakano.
How about Sapphire?
Sapphire. Well, yeah.
Yes. Yeah. Oh, she was, oh my God.
Where'd you meet her?
So we were walking into, I was with Angie at the time, my ex-fiance, and it was she and I and AJ. And we were walking through Tower City to get to Gund Arena, and it was one of the big, I think it was Survivor Series, I think it was Survivor Series.
Okay.
And we were walking past like one of the, those photo booths where you get like a strip of photos that come out. And we're walking past this photo booth, and it was Tori Wilson and Stacy Keibler, and they just stood up and got out of the photo booth.
Okay.
And my ex goes, "Hey, good luck tonight." And Stacy Keibler looks at her and goes, "We're not wrestling tonight." And Tori Wilson just kept walking like no one was even there, like no one spoke. And I was like, and I literally went, "What a couple of cunts!" Like I said it out loud. I was like, and I got this dirty ass look over their shoulder. But I'm like, "Fuck you!" Like, geez, it wasn't even me or my brother like drooling over them. It was like, my ex just going, "Hey, good luck tonight," and just so fuck them.
Anyway. All right, well then she's off of your list. I still think she's very hot.
Oh, she's very, very hot. Not gonna deny it.
All right, let's go to number 7. Stacy Keibler.
There's number 2 on the list.
There's the other one. Stacy Keibler, number 7. Again, smoking fucking hot.
All right. I would take others ahead of her.
All right. Well, we have others ahead of her, definitely. That's why she's number 7.
Okay.
Number 6. Sable.
Yeah. If you're Brock Lesnar, why are you peeing on some office chick when you
some office
go home
whore?
To Sable? Yeah.
I guess because you're tired of fucking Sable, but
how? Look, what's the old saying? Like another man's treasures, another man's treasure, something like that. Like in the treasure.
No matter how hot she is, there's someone tired of fucking her.
Yeah.
There's all those sayings, but
yeah, it's Sable.
The funny thing with Sable is the story of how she was married to Mark Miro.
Yep.
And Brock Lesnar just like, she's mine now. And he's like, okay.
Yep. well, how about in the documentary, she sues WWE, wins like a couple $1 million, and then they rehire her.
Well, not only that, she sues him for misogyny.
Yep.
They hire her back, and then they show a bit of her talking about the misogyny while she's trying to suck Vince's cock.
That is, I mean, dude, you give her credit for being absolutely brilliant for that.
Yeah, she made her money, no doubt about that.
She made her money and then collected another paycheck off the people that paid her millions.
Yeah, I mean, that's funny. But so I have her at number, 6?
Yes.
Number 5.
Kelly. Yeah.
She's a good-looking piece of ass, too. Jesus Christ.
I feel it's so gross doing this.
I don't. I feel like pulling my dick out and starting to beat it.
Well, it's a live show. Go for it, bro.
Yeah. So number 5, Kelly. She's a stunner as well.
I would have put, if we're going to do this, I would have put Stacy Keibler at number 8. I just wanted to say that.
Number 4.
5.
No, we're up to 4.
Oh no, 4. Okay.
Alexa Bliss.
Wow, you have her down this low. I thought she was like.
Well, she's my number 2.
Okay.
But I'm just looking at all the pictures. I love me some Alexa Bliss. She is everything that I look for. 1, she's an Ohio girl. I like that.
True. Yep.
The great tit job. Her surgeon did wonders for her. She's a little girl. She's like 5'1", which I'm into that.
She is short. Yep.
Perfect. Fake blonde. Great ass. Oh, my God. Maybe I need to reshuffle.
I was going to say, are you sure you don't have your fucking dick in your hand under that table over there?
What's that webbing in my fingers? What is that? All right,
oh my God.
Number 3.
See, that's not the best picture of her, but that's number 1.
That's a goddamn good picture of her, though.
Oh, there's better ones, but
I know there's better ones, but
And I don't care what my wife says, dude. Like, I think my wife kind of looks like Lita. She's got like the eye. It's probably in the eyes, I think. But also, Lita is like a hard rock, heavy metal type chick, and that's what Steph is. And it's like, and you know what? Can I just say,
go ahead.
Steph always gets annoyed when I say that. Like, oh, you look like, oh, what? You want me to be like Lita? I'm like, but I'm telling you, like the diva that I think is hottest, you look like her. How is that a bad thing?
That's
like,
not a bad thing.
I'm giving you a compliment. Like,
Yeah, Lita's hot. I have no questions about that. She does sort of look like Steph. I think she's got a little more of a square face where Steph's got more of a round face. But
completely agree. Dude, I'm telling you, it's by far Lita's my number 1.
All right. Number 2.
I know what your number 1 is. I can't wait to see what number 2 is. Wait a minute.
Trish Stratus, number 2.
Oh, dude, don't even tell me what. Do I even want to know what your number 1 is? If this is going to be that goth chick, please don't tell me it's Paige.
Should it be Paige? I don't know. I'm just.
How is Trish your number 2? This is our argument. You led into this thing. We always argue, and our argument is Trish or Lita.
I know, but there's one. There's one above.
Oh God, who is this? Oh, Mandy Rose.
Mandy Rose is a good one too.
Let me think. Who? God, it's someone recent because you don't like go nuts over anybody else but Trish from back in the day. It's not.
I'll let you guess.
And I don't know a lot of the modern chicks.
It's an older one. Yeah, good one, Scooby. He got me. It's Awesome Kong.
Yes,
he got me.
Oh my God. Let's see. Studley Hungwell, Jacqueline.
I didn't have a problem with Jacqueline. I wouldn't put her on this list, but there's others. There's Terry Runnels.
Oh, dude, yeah. I think she was like the first when you were because she was like the first one when like Sunny was like quote unquote the first diva.
Yeah.
But she actually looked kind of like like an everyday woman like you would see walking around. But I think Terry Runnels was Marlena was her character, right?
Yeah.
I think she was the first one that like totally looked like a porn star. and you're like, oh shit, look at that.
Well, and then she did the thing with the string, like the true string
Yes.
thong thing when they had the naked off or whatever they called that, where they all just took their clothes off.
Yep. All right. So number one, am I going to know who this is?
Oh, you'll definitely know.
Who the hell am I missing? Oh, China. It's
China. It's a guy.
God, I can't. I'm gonna kick myself. And all right, go for it. I got nothing.
It's an easy one. Of course, it's Mae Young.
All right, so Trish is your number one. There we go.
Trish would be my number one.
Is Lita actually your number two, though?
She would be in a tie as with my number two. And honestly, I had one that I had my probably would beat out Lita. Didn't make this list because most people wouldn't know her, which was Caitlyn. Do you know Caitlyn?
I don't.
Let me look her up real quick. Okay. Caitlyn, WWE. She was so goddamn fucking hot. But I didn't add her to the list because nobody really remembers Caitlyn. She was only there for a minute, and the rumor is that Triple H was fucking her when while he was married to Steph.
You know what? There's something we didn't get in the Vince documentary. Was Macho Man fucking Stephanie McMahon?
Well, of course they dodged that like a bullet in a Philadelphia fucking schoolroom.
Jesus Christ. God damn. So we're doing misogyny and now we're making school shooting jokes. All right.
There's Caitlyn.
God, she doesn't even look familiar to me.
She was not that big. But man, what a fucking body on that broad. And there's some really good fappening videos of her. Of her just fucking being naked and stuffing dildos in her pussy and shit. I mean, there's some good fappening of her.
Oh my! I don't even know what the fappening is.
That's the code word for jerking off.
What?
You don't know fappening?
No,
fapping. People when they say that's the street slang for jerking off is fap.
What? Because it's so difficult to say jerking off.
Yeah.
By the way, I will say. Speaking of, okay.
Yeah, go ahead.
Super quick. So my favorite
First
ever.
of all, is she hot?
Oh, very much so.
I mean, she's up there.
Yes.
That's a good point,
Yes.
Scooby. Maurice.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Maurice.
She belongs up in there too, yeah.
Dude, my favorite jerking off term is paddling ham, and I got it from the CMS. And when I make that reference around my friends, they've never heard it. They fucking piss themselves laughing. So all credit to the real Jeff Tate for the paddling ham reference because that is like the best ever.
If you ever want to find naked celebrities or porn sex tapes or whatever, you type in their name and the word fappening behind it. And there's tons of them. There's the fappening.com, there's fappening.blog, there's all kinds of fappening sites out there. Look, as a professional porn surfer,
I was gonna say, like, I don't know that shit. Like you do, but I do not.
Of course I do. You think I don't fucking jerk off to porn daily? Of course I do.
You were just doing it under the table as we speak.
Yeah. No, I'll do it later though. I'll tell you that now. I got the iPad charging.
So what about like Mickie James? Like she does. I thought
she would be in the top 15 or so. She's really hot too. I don't like Mickie James's face, especially, and I hate the cowboy thing. And she's always kind of rolled with the cowboy thing, which is not my thing. You know, I don't like that. Yeehaw! I'm riding a bull.
What about like when they did the diva search? Like Ashley Massaro, the one unfortunately that killed herself, but like I thought she was
hotter now.
Jesus Christ! God damn, what's going on? This segment
or colder
is like,
now, as the case may be.
Oh my God! Jeez, oh man! Wow.
I know everybody's not getting these jokes, but they're damn funny.
I'm sure a lot of them are, man. This is your chat room. Look at dudes, bro. The Spank Bank is fully charged.
Damn right. Damn right.
I'm trying to think like who okay. So as long as we're going to discuss this,
yeah.
Where on the list would you put Miss Elizabeth?
not even in the top 30.
Back in the day, did you think Miss
Well,
Elizabeth?
back in the day, of course, but there was.
Okay.
I mean, who were you comparing to? Bull Nakano and fucking
Scary Sherry.
Wendy Richter.
Yeah.
I mean, who were you comparing? Miss Elizabeth was the hottest of them, and she remained the hottest until Sunny came along. And then when Sunny came along, then you were done with her, and then you wanted to see,
Marlena, and then
Marlena, or even if you were a like if you were WCW one, you wanted to see Kimberly Page or
Gorgeous George.
Even Woman was kind of hot, even though she had a weird face. She had a pretty rocking body.
I'm gonna step back from
Again,
that.
we're not allowed to talk about her, right? Because she's dead.
I was gonna say you're gonna go somewhere with that.
What, because she got choked out, I can't say that she was hot. Sure, she choked on his dick before she choked on that barbell.
God damn it! Why did I even mention it?
It's true. Do you really think that she didn't suck Chris Benoit's dick 100 times?
Well, dude, they were married, of course.
Before she took a 25-pounder to the head.
I wonder, I'm not even. Never mind. I'm not even going there. I'm not even gonna.
See, choke and poke.
I'm telling you, dude.
All right, Johnny, you just stop it.
Adorable hatred. Nice.
You know who we haven't mentioned in this? Stephanie McMahon.
Dude, the only thing I think that drops her down, have you noticed, she just, her face gets angrier and angrier the older she gets.
Yeah, she does have angry bitch face. There's no doubt about that.
It's just, and when she smiles, it's like, she looks
got
like
surgery.
a hawk.
When she got her tits done, she got her nose done too, and it changed her.
Yeah.
When she was younger, though, and she first got her tits done, she was fucking right on. She really was. So I'll tell you another one that always landed in the spank bank that wouldn't probably make the top 20 now. Major Guns.
Oh yeah.
Remember Major Guns? She was pretty fucking hot too.
I'll give you that.
But now, if you compare her, she looks a little clowny with those big fucking pontoon balloons.
Pontoon balloons. Dude, see, everything we're talking, seriously, Lita will always be untouchable for me.
Lita's above all of those. To me, the only ones that Lita seriously is not above is Caitlyn and Trish. And the ironic thing is both Trish and Lita still look pretty fucking good now.
Yeah.
And that's 20 years later.
And dude, it was like I think part of and I'll give you Trish. If there was
thanks.
I can't argue with that. Yeah.
I'll take.
We would never argue if they walked up we're both gonna we're one of us is gonna do one of you.
Yeah.
And if you were I'll take Trish, I'd be like, sweet, then I got Lita.
Yeah, there would be no. Of course, then they'd both be screaming rape, but that's a whole nother issue.
Jesus Christ.
They wouldn't want nothing to do with us, but.
No, I know that dude, just Lita was cool. Like I said, she's a heavy metal chick. Dude, she just was like I said, she was just cool. She was hot and everything, but that's what I liked about her was she was, for me, she was relatable, and it was you felt like you could run into her at a fucking heavy metal show and be like, dude, let's go grab a beer. You know what I mean? And then of course for me, later on, I find out she's a huge animal advocate, so she's all about pets and shit like that. So, that just bumped her up completely untouchable level for that. So, God, what are you doing now?
That's really good, man. That's really good.
So, paddling ham?
I could see me jerking it tonight to Caitlyn. But
even though one eye is much more open than the other?
I don't give a shit. It's because I squirted in it. In my fantasy.
I have been friends with you for fucking 30 years.
Yeah.
And I've told so many people, like, don't set shit up for Akin. He will not get. And I still do it myself without even realizing it. The fuck is wrong with me?
I always crack up when you say to Stephanie, "Don't put bullets in his gun."
Yeah, well, that's true, right?
People don't realize this is me all the time. It isn't just on the show.
Yes.
This is me always being an asshole.
I have had people try and tell me that, like, that don't know that you and I are actually close, like in real life. I've had people tell me, like, dude, it's just a character. You act like this fucking. It's just a character. I'm like, no, fucker. Look, why would we say we hang out outside of this if we weren't telling the truth? Like, what? Make this shit up? Like,
this is.
And they're like, no, he's a character. Like, no, it's not. He's not a character, dude. That's Akin.
That's me. And I've built my life around it. That's why I don't work a corporate job. That's why I don't do. I'm incapable of doing the things that this personality will not let me do.
If you had a corporate job, you couldn't.
I'd be
just
fired.
Rank the 8 hottest divas.
Dude, I had corporate jobs, and that was way before we got stupid sensitive about everything.
Right.
And I could never hold on to them. I got fired from every goddamn job after 2 or 3 years because they couldn't deal with me anymore. You know, they would just be like, oh, you can't say that to this person. You can't say that, or you can't. And for me, the bigger one was telling bosses to go fuck themselves. I used to do that all the time. They'd be treating me like disrespectful. I'd be like, you know, go fuck yourself. Get out of my fucking face. All right, you're fired. Okay.
See ya.
Yeah.
I'm going to go paddle ham to Caitlin. I'm going home.
I wouldn't mind that. All right, let's take a break. I think we've beaten this topic and meat to death.
Yeah, what are you actually going to go grab a drink, or are you going to go actually,
No, I'll probably grab a drink. I need another beer, and I got to go and process more video here. Why don't we Why don't we go with a band that me and you both like? So we will we'll take a break. We will come back. We'll do some more. For now, we will play a little live Pantera with some domination.
Let's go.
That? All right, so hang tight, everybody. We'll be back in 15 or so, and until then, we'll be playing some videos. For those of you on Rumble, wait 30 seconds and hit refresh. I saw a bunch of people that couldn't figure out how to do it. Wait 30 seconds and hit refresh, all right? So we'll be back in a bit, and until then, you are listening to
Chris Akin and Jon Drake on your classic metal show.
What's the most painful way to die? Shotgun blast? Speeding bus? Drowning? But for many, burning alive is the most unimaginable fate. In 1994, Chris survived an industrial accident that left him with burns over 69% of his body. Just living defied all odds. In Call Me Chris, Chris Akin shares his harrowing journey of survival, recovery, and the brutal honesty of facing life after the flames. It's raw, real, and a testament to human resilience. Get your copy of Call Me Chris today at chrisakin.net or on Amazon. Witness the power of determination.
It's the album that shocked the world, Judas Priest's Turbo. In 1986, when heavy metal embraced the glam of hair metal, Judas Priest followed suit, unleashing Turbo. It divided fans, rocked MTV, and sparked controversy that still echoes today. In Cause and Effect Turbo, Chris Akin dives deep into the making of this polarizing album, sharing insider stories and personal memories from that explosive era. Whether you loved it or you hated it, Turbo left its mark on heavy metal history. Relive the controversy, Get your copy now at chrisakin.net or on Amazon.
Hey, everybody. This is Jimmy Bell from Autograph and House of Lords, and you are watching CMS TV.
That's enough of that, goddammit.
Enough of that good music shit.
Yeah, no kidding. It is your classic metal show. It's Chris and John hanging out tonight, drinking a little bit tonight. That was Havoc. Before that, we had Halo Effect, which some liked and some didn't. But I did. And unlike a Neely show, it's all about me.
I like it. I mean, you did start the whole thing off with fucking Sons of Apollo, so.
Yeah. I'm just playing whatever I wanted to hear tonight. No requests. Y'all can send them all in next week. I'm sure you guys probably loaded Neely up with 50 of them going in, so we'll have 100 requests for next week's 12 songs that we play. So yeah. So that was Havoc, and there was some Havoc at Rock in Rio apparently here, a week or two ago. Like how I did that.
Well played, man.
Cheesy 101 here. Jesus Christ.
Right.
All right. Well, it's not a secret that the world of Journey is just a shit show right now.
Yeah.
Whether it's the two mainstays suing each other, Jonathan Cain and Neil Sean suing each other, or I saw today that my new friend Ross Valerie piped in and said, I don't talk to those guys anymore. And I noticed he didn't kind of mention why. He just, I just don't chat with those guys. I just forgot to call them or something. It has nothing to do with them trying to steal the band or anything. Which, before we even get into the topic, seeing how everything played out business-wise with this, with two different lawsuits about waste and wasting the money and everything, there's a part of me that believes that maybe Ross Valerie and Steve Smith were right to try and take over this band and fix it. It's a tough one.
I don't think it's a tough. The thing that always gets me about this, is did they really think that the other guys that they were trying to overthrow were some like a fucking kingdom or something?
Right.
Did they really think that these other guys were so stupid that they didn't know what was going on, like to the level that all of a sudden, like Steve Smith and Ross Valerie would come out of court and be like, "We own Journey," and anybody else in the band would go, "Wait, what? Huh?" I mean, it's just the balls that took was unbelievable to me.
Well, hear me out on this. And I'm not saying you're wrong, because I don't think you're wrong. But I'm going to play devil's advocate here just to play a little bit.
Okay.
So here's what I think happened, and I have no inside baseball knowledge on this at all. The only inside I have is that I did talk to Ross 3-4 months ago, whatever it was. And we chatted about it briefly, and then I was asked not to put it in the interview, but that's a whole other thing.
Yeah, but we're not interviewing now, so tell everything that Ross said. Let's go.
No, I'm not doing that. I'm not a dick.
Dude, you do that, and I'll give all the Dream Theater knowledge that I have about the new record and tour and everything. Like, let's just blow everyone out of the water. Let's go.
Yeah, no, pass. I like getting good interviews. Thank you.
Right. And I like not selling out friends. So
yeah, exactly. So what I think happened is those two had a meeting and were like, this is fucked up. This band is going to fucking fall apart. This shit is going to fucking crater, and we are going to get fucked because those two guys are going to pay themselves before they pay any of us.
Yeah.
So we got to do something about this. The legacy's starting to get a little tore apart. We're having problems making payroll to the crew. Let's just see what we could do. So they call some fucking attorney, whoever their attorney is.
Okay.
And the attorney says, well, I could probably help you with that. I think maybe you have a legitimate case. You've been in the band for 35 years or whatever. Maybe we can make the case that with fraudulent activity in the finances, that the ownership is in question because it's not being tended to legally. It's being fraudulently tended to.
Yep.
And they were like, okay, let's do it. And then they went and did it, and that's when Neil hired his big gun lawyer.
Yeah.
Who said, wait a minute here. You know, I've been managing Journey, or I've been running the Journey and for 40 fucking years, and this is the accounting department, and this is the legal department, and these are the books, and these are the this, and these are the that. And while there is some spending that may not be right, it ain't to the level they're saying. And once that was said, Jonathan and Neil were like, these two fucking cocksuckers gotta go. Right. And they threw him right out the band. That's my guess. But that just seems a little more reasonable than, we just thought we'd steal it, man.
Well, you're not wrong. It's just, I just can't imagine two guys on that level in the band being like, yeah, we're going to get this shit, dude. Like, how would you ever think, if you're not Steve Perry or Neil Sean or Jonathan Cain, that you can go into court and be like, yeah, I want to take over control of Journey? Like,
well, it sounds far-fetched, but Ross is not a newbie in the band either.
No.
Ross has been, where's Journey? Where's his time in Journey? I think Ross was at the beginning. I think he's an original, but he left for a minute.
Whatever.
In fact, I know he left for a minute because I saw one of those tours that Raised on Radio when they had Yo Dog, Randy Jackson on bass.
That was recent that they had Randy Jackson on
Well,
bass.
that was again recently after they fired Ross this time. Well, but back in 86 or whatever that was, they had, or 85, whatever.
Okay.
Whenever that was, they had Randy Jackson on bass for Raised on Radio.
Well, but I mean, dude, Ross was on the records. You know, he was in the band, you know.
Mm-hmm.
So, but again, like anybody in the world is going to know that it's Neil Sean, it's Steve Perry, it's Jonathan Cain. Those are the three guys. And even Jonathan Cain is borderline.
Jonathan Cain has less I would love to know how he wormed his way into it. Because Jonathan Cain he is a dick, but Jonathan Cain has less input into it than Ross Valerie. Ross was there for all of the time from 73 or whatever year it was that they formed. You know, I mean, he was in for all of it. Jonathan Cain came in 80. I know he wrote "Hopelessly in Love." That's like 80 or 81, something like that. So that's when Jonathan Cain came in. So, but somehow Jonathan Cain probably said he'd stop writing for him if they didn't make him a partner or something. I'll bet that's what happened.
The thing with me, and I know we're going to get to Arnell.
Yeah, we will.
But this is why I think Jonathan Cain is a fucking dick. And I'm not a huge Journey fan. I totally appreciate them, obviously. You know, I mean, the vocal ability and stuff, which we'll get to. But the ability to write these monstrous hooks, these hits over and over again is amazing. But if you go watch that documentary, I think it's called Don't Stop Believing, whatever the fuck that documentary is where they found Arnell, right?
Yeah. Uh-huh.
Dude, Jonathan Cain was beating that guy into the ground in that documentary. Yeah. And it's like, you know what, motherfucker? He's like, do this, do that, do this, do that. And I'd have been like, dude, after 3-4 months of that, I'd have been like, listen, you fuck, you want to go out there and sing Steve Perry for fucking 2.5 hours a night? Then go do it, dickhead. And if you don't want to, oh, wait, you can't do that, then shut the fuck up and go play piano, you twat.
Yeah, go play your electric keyboard, you dickhead.
Yeah, you fucker. I know you're a great singer. Boy, it's got to be difficult to sing for all of, I don't know, about 15 minutes a fucking night. Shut the fuck up, dude. What a cunt. He was such an ass.
Yeah, I've interviewed him before, and he wasn't an asshole, but he wasn't great either. He was, and I am a Journey fan. Like, Journey was my favorite band. Journey, in my youth, it was Journey, Motley Crue, and Metallica, which don't ask me why. I was a fucking weirdo. But those were my three favorite bands as a teenager. And I was a big Journey fan. And so I was super pumped to interview Jonathan Cain.
Right.
I was a big Babies fan too. So all the way around, I was excited to interview Jonathan Cain. And I interviewed him. And again, he wasn't a dick, but he was remarkably short.
And you could tell he's up his own ass.
Yeah.
I mean, you've done enough interviews to know when a guy, you can tell the guy's like, thinks his shit don't stink.
Mm-hmm. You know me, I dump out of them.
Yep.
Like, okay, thanks for the time, dude. I'm out of here.
Yeah. See ya, fucker.
Yeah. Penske. It's Neely's nephew. He is a dick.
Yeah. He does, but you know what? He does hide behind that Christian shit too. He's one of those guys. Oh, I'm a man of God. Like, Jesus this, Jesus that. Like, no, dude. Like, read the fucking Bible for real. You're a twat. You're a dick. Like, you really think that, what you're doing is in the Bible? No, it's not.
Yeah, well, and there's a lot of misunderstanding of the Bible. People think that if you're religious, that's supposed to be nice, and being,
you know what, dude?
Being true to religion is very different from being nice.
You know what, dude? Fuck it. Let's talk about the Bible for the last hour of the show.
Let's not.
Anyway, back to the topic.
All right, let's move back to Arnel.
Yes.
So, Arnel Pineda is the singer of Journey, and he has his ups and downs. Overall, I think he's done a fantastic job with Journey. Yep. I really do.
I love how you just said ups and downs. So I want to ask before we get to this. I'm so sorry to cut you off.
That's all right.
What do you think his downs are? Like, because I don't think they're very low at. I think his downs are better than almost anybody else's best nights.
He has. I don't agree. I don't agree that this Rock in Rio is better than anybody's best night.
All right, I'll give you that.
And he has these on occasion. And quite honestly, and I will throw some inside baseball on this.
Okay.
Part of the reason he has troubles is because the lawsuit that Neil Sean caused with Live Nation, when they sued Live Nation, and Live Nation doesn't want to book them anymore for their gigs, and they have to play wherever they can play. So they have to play tougher schedules, different routings in order to play big enough venues, because they come to Cleveland, say, and they're not playing the Rocket Mortgage Fieldhouse. They're playing whatever's not a Live Nation venue.
Okay.
Which is smaller, which means they get less money, which means then they got to go, instead of doing every other night, they got to do 4 nights a week or 5 nights a week.
I was going to ask you how that correlates. Okay.
Yeah. So, if they play Rocket Mortgage Fieldhouse, which holds, 22,000 people or something?
Yeah.
Roughly
19,
that?
Yeah, 20. Yeah.
We'll say 20,000 people.
Yeah.
20,000 people at $100 a ticket is, you're the math one, is that $2 million?
Yep.
So $2 million. It's $2 million. They make half of it. The venue makes the other half of it. So they make $1 million for that venue, probably a little less. They probably make like $750,000. That would be my guess for a Journey on that sort of a venue. But if they're only playing a place that holds 10,000 seats, well, cut that money in half. They're going to make $350,000, and they got to fill that gap to make that money.
Yeah.
So what do? They end up playing, and if you look at any Journey calendar, you'll see that they're playing 2 nights, 3 nights, 4 nights in a row. This ain't the kind of music for that. It's not the kind of music where the singer can do that. So Arnel does have some nights where he's just fucked. And they've accommodated for it on some level. I agree with whatever here. I don't know what that means. But the guarantee won't vary, but it'll vary if the venue is smaller.
Not true.
They'll give less of a venue. They'll give less of a guarantee.
No, Journey says no, they won't. No, dude, you ought to know that. When a band goes out, it's look. You think Don Dawkins charging 15,000 here or 40,000 there? Like, no, it's Dawkins.
I know they
gets
do.
paid.
I know
Really?
that they do. Yes.
Everything I've always heard,
Yeah.
like, and you obviously know way more than I do, is that Dawkins gets paid 40 grand a night.
No.
Period. The end.
Depends on it depends on a lot of factors, but the main factor is how many tickets can they sell. How many tickets are available to be sold, and if there's markable, that would be like saying, let's say the Journey's guarantee is 500,000 tickets. Do you think that it would be the same if they played Rocket Mortgage Fieldhouse or Nautica Stage, which holds 5,000 people?
My
the ticket would be
understanding
$700 a ticket.
Yeah, all right. My understanding from what I've been told by, the minimal people that I know in the industry is that there's a flat price.
Well, there could very well be a flat price, but it's per venue size.
Okay, all right.
Because they have to recoup. These promoters aren't stupid. They're not just booking because they want to have Journey's name on the fucking marquee.
Yeah, true.
They want to make money. So they're looking at, we can get away with charging $150 a ticket, 5,000 tickets. That's this much money. We want to pay the band 60% of that is usually the number.
Yep.
So whatever that would be what they would pay at a Nautica. And the same thing would happen at a Rocket Mortgage. Now, Journey can come and pitch anything they want. I mean, I've seen that. I know when these guys start making their calls, they all call and say the same thing. We want $100,000 a show or whatever. And then, I've been in the office back when I was sharing an office with Mitch Karshevsky. Yep. And I can remember distinctly, he'd get a call and I'd be right there. And he'd be like, yeah, Dio wants to come into the Flying Machine and it's going to cost you $15,000. And dude would push back. He'd be like, I'm not paying you $15,000. My venue holds 1,000 seats. 15,000 would be $150 a ticket. I can't do that. Instead, I can do, 10,000. That's how it works. I mean, yeah, they come in with a guaranteed number, but everything's a negotiation. That's why tour routing takes forever to book, because they have to negotiate with every fucking place.
All right.
Except for certain acts.
Yeah. By the way,
Metallica, Taylor Swift, whatever.
Could you imagine seeing Dio with the Flying Machine? Just
did.
Move on after that. Holy, what?
I did.
Fucking move on.
But he didn't show up. He didn't show up. He did. There's a funny story on that one.
Oh, God.
So Dio was booked. I met him there because I was supposed to interview him. This is a weird story. But I was supposed to interview him at the Flying Machine.
Okay.
And he showed up and walked into the Flying Machine, took a look around, said, nah. Got back in his bus and drove away.
No shit.
Yeah. Wow. He's like, nope, not doing that.
See, I always liked the Flying Machine. I
did too, but
I opened for Firehouse there, and
I guess it didn't have a really good sound system.
Oh no, the sound system was terrible, dude. The place was, it was not great. No. But my two memories of that are, I opened for Firehouse there, and the night I opened for Firehouse there, how there's remember like out in the back there were like woods, behind it. Mm-hmm. I took my girlfriend out there at the time, and okay, since we talked about women before, I can tell the stories. After sound check, the opening band was going on, and I took my girlfriend outside and I banged her up against a tree, and then I pulled out and I actually shot on the tree.
Nice.
Because I thought it'd be funny to shoot on it. Like as I'm fucking, I'm like, it'd be hilarious. In my head, I'm like, what if I just pull out, actually blew a load on a tree, and I did it. So there you go. But anyway, back to Arnell.
Hold on real quick. I'm going to tell one more Flying Machine and we'll get back to Arnell. Okay. And it's not as good as that, that's for sure. But all right. Manowar came out there and played there once, which was ridiculous. And they came with their full goddamn setup, which was beyond ridiculous.
Yeah.
So I was out there with Mitch, and we were trying to help them set up some kind of a ramp from outside so that they could ride a motorcycle onto the stage in that place. Now you guys got to. No lie, I don't think that place held 1,000 people.
Actually, I will give him credit. I do think it would if you really packed him in.
But it wasn't built for. It wasn't built for that.
It would hold it. But that's assholes.
It might hold it, but it was built for comfortably. It was probably 500 people. Yeah, comfortably, maybe 6. Was not a big club for Man of War to come with their full fucking setup, right?
Right.
But Man of War came and they had their setup and they had these ramps to the, because obviously they were having to ride in from off stages all over the country on this motorcycle. So they had these fucking ramps, but they were too big for that setup, for the flying machine setup. So we were trying to rig something up to for him to ride up, because he just had to ride up into that back door and then it would come right onto the stage. So we set up with fucking pallets. We found a bunch of pallets and we took them apart and we banged them into like pallets with no holes in them or no.
Yeah.
Made a little ramp. Fucking Eric Adams gets on this fucking motorcycle and he ekes up to it slowly. He pulls up on it a little bit. The whole thing fucking caved in. The whole goddamn thing just crushed in the middle. And after that, he was like cussing all of us. I was like, "What the fuck is wrong with you, motherfuckers?" We're like, "We didn't know."
Bring your own ramp, you fuck.
Yeah. Well, then somehow we figured out a way to put the ramp in, the big ramp back in, the big metal ramp that they had. But it was too fucking funny. Just he tried to eke up on that ramp and just it went right through these fucking, and they were just shit wood.
Well, yeah.
Of course it's not going to hold a 3,000-pound motorcycle. But anyway, Arnel Pineda.
Yes.
So he's out there. He's playing these gigs. He Journey ends up booked for arguably the biggest gig in South America, which is Rock in Rio. It's always a huge gig. If you look at a lot of bands' live albums are from Rock in Rio. Yep. Halford has done it. Rush has done it. Bunches of bands have done Rock in Rio. Guns N' Roses, I think, did a Rock in Rio thing. So it's a big deal.
Yeah.
Arnel goes out and lays a fucking turd on the stage. Just awful performance. And he was so shook by it that he actually put out to the fans, "Hey, if you guys want me to fucking quit, I'll quit, because fuck you."
Get a million, yeah.
He was.
Now, one question I have for you, real quick.
Yeah.
How much video do we have of the show? Because I know obviously the end was a disaster. I'm sure you got video.
I'm
of
gonna
it.
play "Don't Stop Believing" here in a minute.
But my question was like, what was the rest of the show like?
It wasn't good. The whole. Let me see if I can find the whole show real quick.
Well, no, you don't have to. But if you've seen the whole show and it was bad all the way through, okay, all right.
Yeah,
so it was bad.
It wasn't good. His voice was shot. It was one of those gigs that he should not have played.
I from what I could hear, and we'll play video in a quick second. Like, his voice was shot, but he also went out and said, "Oh, my ears, like my monitors and my ears, like, were fucked up or whatever." Like, so to me, the only thing I will give him shit for on this, because we're gonna get into it. Don't blame your ears. Like, as again, I'm not on his level at all, and I use in-ear monitors, and I've had nights where my ears are fucked, and I literally just take them out and sing off the house. It's like, if my ears sound like shit, I'm doing something else and singing off the house. I never, if I have an off night, I'm not like, "Oh, dude, my fucking ears." Like no. So that was kind of, so I think he would have been way better served to be like, "Look, dude, my voice was roached. I did the very best I could." And we're gonna get into this because I have a lot of thoughts on this.
Yeah.
So,
All right, well, I found the concert. It's not video. It's just audio. But I'll just play it at random because it's not marked or anything. So I'll just play some random places.
Okay.
And we'll get a feel for it. There. Here we go. All right, here we go.
His voice is shot.
Yeah, it's total.
Dude, you can hear the grit in it. You can hear the grit in it, and it's like, you know, I always hate talking about singing shit on the show because I never want to sound like, oh, I know what I'm talking about. I mean, but because I do it, you know, like 50 times a year and fucking, you know, 50 songs a night, you know, dude, you can hear that little grit. And for a singer, that's terrifying because you know if you're at something that's easy for you and you sound gritty, you know those high notes are coming. And you're like, oh Jesus, please don't crack. Like, and it's you can hear it right there, like the but it's like you can hear something.
He's struggling here, and here's the biggest problem I have with this, and I guess it's a band problem, but when they figured out, which would have been very early in this, that Arnell just couldn't do it. This band more than any other, they have a better singer in the band.
Dean Castronovo.
Dean Castronovo does Steve Perry better than Arnell does. He's better at it. And I don't know if they still do it or not, but they used to have Dean do a couple of songs in the set to give.
Isn't like Faithfully, I think?
Faithfully is one of them, yeah.
Yeah.
But when he was going this bad, this is where you say, look, bro, go have a seat in catering. You know,
well, it's an image thing. They can't be like, hey, you know, our singer's having an off night. We're gonna get like that's what I would want to see. That's what you would want to see. Yeah. But the average fan, if you go pay for Journey, and they come out and go, oh well, Arnell's not gonna sing. Half the crowd's gonna go, what the fuck? The other half is gonna go,
you
oh,
say
poor
that.
Arnell, yeah. Like
you say that, but at the same time, didn't we have a year ago fucking Lamb of God shows where Mark Hunter was showing up and singing, and the guy from Fit for an Autopsy and shit like that? I mean,
okay, but that's hugely different. That one anyone will accept because it's metal, it's a scream. With Journey, dude. It's difficult because Journey. Say what you want about the great songwriting and how incredibly iconic they are. The only thing that you remember about Journey are the vocals and the fucking choruses and shit like that. Like they like Van Halen's defined by guitar. Journey is defined by the lead vocal.
I agree.
So like, you know, you can't do with the Lamb of God thing. Like, hey man, here's Mark Hunter. Here's this other guy. Like, no, people come out. They want to see Arnell. So half the crowd would be like, oh man, poor Arnell. But the other half would be like, what the fuck? I want to see fucking Journey. Like, right. What's Arnell doing? What the fuck? So,
and I don't disagree, but listen to this.
Oh, here we go.
This is Dean and Neil.
Just a small town girl,
so good.
Living in a lonely world. She took the midnight train going anywhere.
And this is while playing drums.
Yep.
Morning rains in South Detroit. She took the midnight train going anywhere.
I mean, I wouldn't be upset if I heard that.
Yeah.
Ever.
How happy do you think Neil Strong was at this point? Like, there's no Jonathan Cain. It's just like fucking him and Dean kicking ass, like no drama. Like, let's go make a shitload of money.
Well, this was a whole thing, dude.
I know.
They put out that record and they weren't happy with the way it went, and so Neil was again in lawsuits with these guys. So he went out and did Journey Through Time with Dean, Marco Mendoza, Greg Raleigh, and I forget who the other guy is. But I mean, this sounds better than Journey.
Yeah. Can I say one thing real quick?
Yeah.
Why the fuck does fucking Dean Casanova have a teleprompter for "Don't Stop Believing"? People in a coma know the lyrics. Don't stop believing, man.
Maybe because he's playing drums.
Oh,
keeps him on track. I don't know.
Fuck that. Stop it.
I mean, Dean has been known to mess with the meth every now and again. Might forget things. I'm gonna play a little more of this before we go back to Arnell, because I want you to hear. I'm gonna go into the middle of it so that you can hear how good Dean sounds, and then you can argue with me that this wouldn't be better than a bad Arnell for one night at the biggest show they're gonna play in a year.
Okay,
just keep all of that in mind.
Sure. Good.
Fucking amazing.
Do it here. Do it here. There it is. Fucking amazing.
Now you wouldn't rather hear that for one night on the biggest gig that they're going to play all year.
Oh, I would love to. But think of how many fans. By the way, I wonder how many people in the chat or how many people listening to this know that Dean Castronova was the drummer, like, since Classic Metal Show, fucking Dragon's Kiss, fucking Marty Friedman's debut album. That was Dean Castronova on drums, dude. Metal as fuck. Yeah, dude. I'm not denying that I wouldn't want to see it, but I'm telling you that, like, the average, again, you and I always talk about this, dude. We've talked about it during this show. The average fan doesn't know the shit that we know. So the average person who just hears the name Journey, I'm going to go see Journey. If the singer's off the stage for half the show, they're going, what the fuck? Instead of, oh, this other guy's singing and it sounds amazing. They're where's the lead singer? Where's the lead singer? You know that's how people look at it, dude.
I don't disagree. But if he sounds like this, I'd be fine if they, hook him in the mid-show.
You'd be fine, but would they?
Yeah, let's hear a little more of this. I'm moving to the middle of the show.
Okay.
Here comes the hard high part.
This was
I'd rather hear Dean.
I'm not disagreeing. And dude, you know what's insane is if you saw a cover band do that, everyone would be like, "Oh my god, this guy nails Journey."
Yeah, I don't know about all that.
Oh no, dude, come on. You have seen cover bands and you know that people do that. You know, if it sounds even remotely close, like a mile away close, they're like, "Oh, this fucking rules. The guy can nail it." Yeah, that dude. You can hear in his voice the graining. Like his voice is fucking shot.
His shot, and again, I'm going to go back to what you had said earlier. I'm not going to fully discount the in-ears because it sounds like he's off, like he's not hearing it right or something.
And he is. You're not wrong, but
or is he drunk? Somebody said that in the chat room, and that might, who knows?
Well, I mean, like I said, like when I say like I take out my ears, I'm playing in clubs or a festival and like 2,000 people. I'm not playing in front of 100,000. So the kickback, like what when I take my ears out, I'm singing off the house, So it's like the speakers in front of me, but I play off the drummer, listen for the melody, whatever. But in a venue that size, Jim, I love you, man.
I think I could sing better than that. What we were just listening to. He's tearing you apart. every day.
See, you do Dr. Hee-Haw and Arnel Panakin.
Yeah, Panakin, there it is.
But yeah, like you follow the drummer, you listen for the melody, and off you go. But in a venue that size, even if you took his ears out, I obviously have never played in front of 100,000 people. Maybe maybe there's so much echo. Yeah, right.
Gatlin release party?
It was only 98,000.
All right,
but but yeah, I mean, like with shit bouncing off the stage and coming back, like who knows? I mean, his timing sounds close, but his timing does sound a little off. So, nice. Chris just scared my cat.
All right, let's hear some more of Arnel.
Yeah,
here we go. Note.
A great note. Dude, he's just so off. Like, but you can hear, like, again, from a singing perspective, his voice is shot. He's pushing everything he has and still trying to not push too hard to where he can't get through the rest of the show.
Yeah.
I mean, it really fucks with you, dude.
I believe it. I just am like, oof. This is, again, what it comes down to me is you got a better guy in the band. Fucking say he's sick. Say he's sick and play the gig. No one will know the difference. Put another Filipino guy out there with a mic turned off. Just have Dean sing it. No one would know the difference.
So we went from misogyny to now all Asians look the same, and Journey fans will.
Yeah.
Hey, he's a short guy, 100,000 people. Who's gonna know?
Yeah, it's far away from most of them. They won't know.
Right. Oh,
Listen,
my God.
Get your gook ass out there and fucking sing. Pretend. Get out there, rice eater. What are you doing?
Rice eater. Nice. Yeah. Dude, no, like you can tell his voice is just like, I've had those nights where you're absolutely pushing to get anything you can out. The thing that I will say that is troubling here, like if your voice is shot and everything, it's the timing.
Yeah.
Like, having said that, I've had those nights where I'm like literally just like basically screaming on pit just to get through the show. Like my timing's still fine. So I'm wondering if there wasn't like maybe he did have a few to drink or something, like, because that's a little different. Or like I said, maybe like if he did have his ears out or something, like the sound's bouncing back and forth off the stage, like he can't quite get his timing. Like, I don't know.
I don't know. I just and I'm gonna now be conspiracy guy here.
Oh boy.
This is the third time in a year he's talked about leaving the band. What do you think about he wants out?
Would you be surprised if you had to deal with Jonathan Cain?
No, other than he should be looking down the pike at fucking Steve Augeri opening for Lou Graham and say, I don't know that I want to go that far down. And that's just where Arnel Pineda's going to go.
Okay, but here's the thing. Steve Augeri was an established singer before Journey. Like Arnel Pineda, they found him on the streets of Manila, for fuck's sake. The guy was damn near homeless. So he comes from, not to be overly crazy about it, basically comes from being penniless. Yeah. And then he joins the biggest band in the world. You don't think this guy's got money out the ass and doesn't remember?
I don't think he has money out the ass.
Okay. For him, he does.
For him, he may.
Well, exactly. That's the thing. So if he has to leave, this guy didn't all of a sudden buy a Porsche and a mansion and all this shit. This guy was sending money to his family and shit. And he's said this all the time. It's happening. sending money to his family, supporting his kids, and all this kind of stuff. So the guy has all this money. You know he does. They have done was it 1 record or 2 records with him?
I think 3 or 4 actually.
Even more. Okay. Well, so he's going to get something from that on residuals. The guy has fucking money. If he leaves, he's more hooked up than he's ever been in his life, or could ever even dream he's hooked up. So if he wants to leave and shit, like, then he can leave. It's not, he doesn't need the gig. Like, you know what I mean? Like, am I phrasing this right? He doesn't need it because like he's comfortable because he didn't come from anything.
Yeah, he's done 3 and some live records.
Okay. I mean,
I don't think he's broke by any stretch, and for him, he's probably loaded for what compared to eating curry sandwiches or whatever he was doing back then.
Right.
But he also as an artist though, he's got to know that he's starting over if he leaves Journey.
But he never started anything, dude. Dude, this is so topical. Imagine if all of a sudden I get tapped to fucking go be the lead singer for Journey. Arnell leaves and my fat ass goes to sing for Journey. Where did I come from? I was in a local band that almost got signed. Maroon 5 got my fucking record deal. It's my little tiny claim to fame. Sold out the Odeon 7 times 1,000 people. Sold a few thousand records. I just got a picture sent to me today. The Gatlin I Steel record is on sale at the Steelyard Commons Exchange for $25.
Ooh.
True story. I've got to send you that picture. It's the funniest thing I've ever seen. But anyway, and all of a sudden, I'm fucking singing for Journey. You don't think like after like a couple years of singing for Journey that I haven't banked like at least a few hundred grand, paid all my bills off, and like and if they fire my ass, I come home and I'm fucking living on easy street?
I get all that. I'm not saying you're wrong. What I'm saying is it's not the financial part of it. It's the Kerry King is opening shows at clubs.
But
when he was in Slayer.
Okay, but he was in Slayer. Arnel Pineda was homeless singing in a cover band.
I get
Manila.
that. Again, it's not about the money. It's not about the riches. It's about he's used to now. He's been in this band since 2007, almost 20 years, believe it or not.
Right. He's the longest tenured Journey singer.
He is not going to want to go back to playing the fucking Agora Ballroom.
But he doesn't need to. And he came from nothing, so it's not.
But he's a musician. He's going to keep playing. Just like Steve Augeri didn't need to.
Okay, but Arnel Pineda, okay. Again, he came from nothing. So if he gets fired from Journey or quits Journey, he can either go back to doing nothing, the singing cover bands, or, dude, you don't think that, and I, like if he books a solo tour, like Arnel does Journey, like let's say he does a Journey tribute band, you don't think, and this is a minor number, you don't think he could book little places like, let's say in Cleveland, like the Winchester, or some place like that?
I'm sure he could.
500 people say Arnel Pineda, the voice of Journey.
I'm sure he probably could.
And you don't think it wouldn't pack out the fucking place?
Maybe first time.
House of Blues and shit, like
first time. But Steve Augeri, if he did that, the former voice of Journey, he's going to draw 100 fucking people.
Yeah, see, this one's difficult because, like, even I didn't know who Steve Augeri was, and I'm not nearly as well versed in the industry as you are. But
I'm going to tell you this: Steve Augeri, better singer for Journey than Arnel Pineda was. Is
high as a kite. You are.
I saw it. I saw it.
I don't give a fuck what you saw. You are high as a kite.
No, you're wrong.
Well, then pull up some fucking Steve Augeri, dude. Arnel Pineda sounds exactly like.
So did Augeri.
No, not as, and I've seen the Augeri videos. Arnel sounds better. That's like saying there's a better singer from
not live.
Todd LaTorre.
Not live.
Bullshit.
Dude, I saw it several times.
I don't care.
He was fucking great, and Arnel's great. I'm not trying to say Arnel's bad.
I know what you're saying, but dude, I've watched them all. Dude, fucking Arnel sounds better as a Steve Perry clone than Steve Augeri did. But you know why that probably is, though, at least to me? Because Steve Augeri had a career. He was established. He had his own voice. Arnel was coming from a cover band, doing Journey. That was like his jam. It would be like me joining Alice in Chains. Everyone, like at the Brother Believe Me shows, like, oh, you got to do fucking Alice in Chains. John sing Alice in Chains. Like, you fuck do Alice in Chains. And so if I could go sing for Alice in Chains because everyone's like, oh, you sound like that guy. But I never had a career before that. So, and Jerry had a career, so he had his own voice.
I'm playing this one at random.
Okay.
I just pulled the first one up. This is him solo, 2004.
Okay. He looks like fucking Steve Perry.
Oh, no, this is Journey. This is him with Journey.
I was going to say. Yeah.
All right.
Just a small town girl, living in a lonely world.
Nope.
Taking me by train, going
Nope.
He's good.
He's amazing. But Arnell sounds more like Steve Perry.
I mean, they haven't really had a bad singer.
Well, I mean, can you though? I
No,
mean,
you
it's
can't.
Journey, like we said earlier, like, dude, Journey is defined. It would be, yeah. I mean, that's all it is. It would be like if Van Halen fucking, let's replace Eddie Van Halen, like Joe Satriani on the Best of Both Worlds tour or Best of All Worlds tour. Sounds amazing, but it ain't Eddie. You know, like it's it is defined. You know, Van Halen's defined by the guitar, and Journey's defined by that vocal, man.
Let's just get Joey Belladonna in there. That solves all problems. He ain't doing nothing.
Please don't shit on Joey. I love that
I'm not.
guy.
Have you heard him do Journey?
I actually have not.
Holy shit.
Dude, so we're going, like I said earlier, I'm going to New York City to go see Dream Theater in March. I am praying that Joey's doing some Joey show. He's the one rock star I've always wanted to meet that I've never gotten to meet. I love Joey Belladonna. He is like the most humble, fucking
dumb.
Well, yeah.
I love him, but he's dumb.
Dude, but his voice is fucking, like, if you listen to fucking, I mean, like, Spreading the Disease in like 1984, 1985, and listen to him now, it's the same.
Yeah, he's
the guy
great.
is amazing.
I'm not trying to shit on him in any way, shape, or form other than not the smartest guy in the world.
You know what, dude? That's fine, though, man. I love Joey. I want to meet him so bad. Okay, here we go. All right.
Let me get into this a little bit. Here we go.
I fucking love Joey, man.
He's great.
Yep. That power vibrato of his is great.
I wish we could hear this without the fucking shit crowd singing.
Dude.
Hold on. Where's that? You've heard the Anthrax Journey song, right?
Actually, I have. Wait, they did Journey?
Yeah.
How did I miss that?
Dead or Alive, I think. Or Keep On Running. Here we go.
Oh, I don't know that Journey song.
Working in my city, this town's got no pity. Boss man owns his heart of stone. I'm on the line, it's overtime. I'll tell you it's a crime. Get me by the hour, by my blue color. Ooh, you're squeezing me too tight. Oh, it's Friday night. Let's run tonight.
We can take the gig.
Right?
Listen to that.
Keep on running. Keep on running. Keep on running. Keep on running. Keep on running away. It's okay, it's alright. It's okay, it's alright. Can't feel it, makes you wanna jump and shout. Yeah.
nails, man.
So good. Notice you can barely hear Frank Bello. And Frank Bello's the high harmony.
I mean,
and like, and Frank Bello can't even get up there, dude.
It's amazing.
Oh,
I'm going to answer. Where did it go? This one. Dean would be good, but does he have to? Yes. If you look up Journey Through Time live on YouTube, you can hear the whole hour-and-a-half shows that they were playing. Neil and Dean.
Was Dean the lead singer for the whole thing?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, and they actually, if I remember right, as the story goes, Frontiers put it out. They released it as a live record, and then immediately got sued.
Are you serious?
Because they didn't have permission to put it out.
Jeez.
Yeah, Frontiers is a whole nother issue of, wow, there's some management stuff going on over there. Now, there's some things I could tell you some stories about.
Right? Yeah, dude, I don't know. We'll get back to Arnell in a second.
Yeah.
Dude, I love Joey. Like, fucking.
Joey's great.
Oh, God. Like I said, I hope he's playing in New York somewhere when I'm there in March. Anyway, yeah, back to the Arnell thing. I mean, let's get to the real video. I mean, do you have the one of Don't Stop Believing that everyone was up in arms about? Because, I mean, that was really what you wanted to talk about was all these other singers getting his back, and you had an issue with that.
Yeah. All right, here we go. Here it is. Here we go. That's My Voice Is Blown, you singing.
Yep. Oh, yeah. Oh, you can hear it right there. Okay, right there, like if your voice is shot, you don't do that.
Yeah.
You don't like muscle through like super high notes and shit. Like no, dude, just like
last song of the night.
Yeah, just even still, dude, like you don't do that because you have other high notes coming up. Like, just if your voice is fucked, then don't do the what? All the vocal histrionic shit. Like, save that for the very end of the song.
Right. I'm gonna go back to this here. I'm not saying replace Arnell with Dean. I'm saying for this one show where he was clearly fucked, have Dean play the set. One show, not all shows. Anyway, back to your point about Arnell. So Arnell puts this thing out. He obviously sucked.
And this video isn't even the one. Like the one that got all the attention was at the end of the song. And ooh.
That's funny.
Johnny, you man.
That's really funny.
I just stopped believing. Oh my God.
But the thing I have the problem with was that all of the artists, I saw several posts from artists saying, shut up and accept it. Arnell's having a bad night. Every singer has a bad night. I saw Latore say that. I saw a few guys say it, but Latore was
Tony Harnell.
Yep. Tony Harnell. But Latore's the one that got under my skin. Because I don't like at all that these guys, any of these guys, and I'm pointing at Latore just because he's the one that said it, I don't like him saying that I should have to accept less of a show at full price. I don't like hearing that. I don't want to hear how much you think these Rock in Rio tickets cost. Probably a fucking ass load of money.
Yeah.
And now you're trying to say, well, he had a bad night, but fuck it, you should accept it because he's the singer, and singers have problems some nights. No. Well, you know what? Give me back 40% for the 40% that he didn't perform.
Right.
Throw me a refund. Why do I owe him full fucking price when he didn't give me full fucking show?
See, I see it from two perspectives. I see it from your perspective as a fan, and I see it from, Latori's perspective, Tony Hart, all the guys that are getting his back. Like, I see it from both sides because, for you, it's one show. Give me 100% or get the fuck out, right?
Yes.
I get that. But from the singer's perspective, like, getting his back, there's nothing wrong with that because they understand what he is going through. And, like we talked about a minute ago, with Journey, there's no hiding. Like, there's no let the crowd cheat. Let the crowd do this. It's not like when I opened for fucking Hoobastank and the Doug Robb was fucking every single other line was just holding the mic out to the crowd. Like, no one gave a shit because it's fucking Hoobastank. In Journey, that would be like Eddie Van Halen, like just holding out like a note and letting the crowd like sing the guitar solo. Like, no, man, like it's not how it works.
No, I agree. I don't disagree. What I'm saying is shut your fucking mouth. It's a bad show. You don't need to get his back. I don't need to be talked down to by some fucking replacement player singer in Queensryche telling me that I have to fucking accept a fucking bag of shit that was fed from Journey. No.
I don't think that they're coming at you from the perspective of you have to accept a bag of shit.
They are. They're saying don't complain about it.
Well, and they shouldn't. Again, both sides of the fence. I don't think they should say stop complaining about it, but I do agree with them saying, dude, he's got a fucking he's having a bad night. Cut the guy some slack. There's a difference between those two things.
Sure.
And so, like I said, like when I see this, like I said, like I could hear, and when you played the very beginning of the video, like even Easy Notes is instead of like you could hear the grit. His voice is fucked from the get go.
All right.
So
no, I'm not accepting this. I'm gonna tell you why.
Okay.
I just fired you from your job that you have, and I just hired you to fucking be the guy that works over at Walmart changing tires. But your fucking wrist is really hurting today. So you decide I'm only going to put 2 lug nuts on every fucking tire.
Terrible example.
No, it's not. It's a perfect example because your wrist is hold on. Because your wrist is sore, and then I'm just supposed to say, well, I did my best. I put 2 on.
No, that is not even.
How is that not?
Because a car and a tire is a thing. That's like saying, oh well, what your analogy is saying, well, Neil Sean went out there and fucking played a bad show, because the guitar was out of tune and shit. No, Arnell's voice and a singer's voice is 100% physical. It's 100% in here. There's nothing you can fucking do about it. Humidity, fucking what you're drinking,
you're
what
right.
you're eating, what you're everything. So,
you're right. Whose responsibility is that? I didn't pay for that. I didn't pay for less than perfect.
Okay, but it's either 100% there or it's a little bit off. With a car, that's not the same thing, dude.
You could drive with 3 lug nuts.
Okay, a guitar player and a bass player and a drummer can play with just a little bit of shit. A singer can't.
You're right.
And so, it's not the
same. But if you traveled and paid big money with this for these tickets, you should not have to just say, well, he just had a bad night, so you're fucked.
Well, that's what I'm saying, though. Like, I agree with that because it's James LeBrie, he phrased it so well. Like, Tim James. I agree with Chris, but then again, I got paid to watch Vince. Dude, James LeBrie phrased it so well. He said, dude, like when you're on the road, you're doing like 50, 60, 70 shows, like you're so burnt. And you do these fucking meet and greets, your voice is he's like, and you just want to like phone it in. He's like, but you can't. Because for you, it's the 60th show. But for most of the people in that crowd, that's their only show.
I understand
have to be at number 1. And so that's why I understand where you're coming from. Because
here's the other
Arnell
side,
needs to be that.
Here's the other side, though.
What do you mean other side? I was just
There's
getting your
another
back on
side.
your argument.
You're saying he's doing 70 shows and meet and greets and all that. You know what? A, you're charging for all that. So B, don't do the fucking meet and greets. Save your voice by not doing that.
Shit,
and
you
preserve
even
what
listen.
you have.
You fucking burn victim. Listen to me. What I was saying is, I was getting your back, you dummy.
I understand that, but I have a hard line on this.
Okay, but
I will never accept. I will never. I'm not saying they can't have a bad night. What I'm saying is I will never, ever, never, never casually accept other people that are not involved in this. Arnel Pineda did not say you guys should accept this. Arnel Pineda, the guy that had the shit performance, took responsibility for it and said, look, if I'm so bad that you want me out the band, I'll leave.
Yes.
He took his responsibility. Then you got all these other knotheads, just because they're singers, saying, oh, no, you should accept it because of this, this, and this. No, shut your fucking mouth because it doesn't concern you.
Okay, but see, you're missing my point. I was getting your back.
I understand you're getting my back in the Arnel part of it. I got it.
Well, no, you're not in the Arnel part, in the fan part of it, dude. So James Labrie, his point was, I've done 70 shows, so for me, I'm burnt. But the fan that comes to see me, that's their only show, so I have to be on every night. So that's getting your back, and your point is,
I agree.
I don't give a fuck what you've been going through, like. I want to see this guy at 100%.
Well, no, not I want to. I paid to.
Okay.
There's a difference. Of course, we all want to see him play their best show ever.
Okay.
But I paid for the Arnel Pineda of 12 years ago. I didn't pay for this guy that sounds like he's in a fucking modern day Dokken tribute.
No, and I'm not denying that. I mean, again, his voice is blown and shit, and you are correct. They should have had Dean step in, but even if it's like they're doing the stadium tour here in America, which they're doing with Heart and Def Leppard and all that shit. Yeah. Even there, like, it would be difficult to go, oh, you know what? I don't feel good. Like, Dean's going to sing a few songs. Like, fans would accept it. Most fans. Some would be like, what the fuck, man? Where's the lead singer Journey going? But at Rock in Rio, like, I mean, you said it, dude. It's one of the biggest shows in the world. 100,000 people. Do you really think that he can just back down and they can go, here's Dean Castronovo?
I think yes. I think you have to.
Okay, but you and I are coming from the
if somebody cannot perform, then they should either step down and pay back the money, or they should fucking offer a refund. They're not going to, and I know they're not going to. I know that's an irrational thought. They're not going to refund a fucking Rock in Rio ticket. I get that.
Here's 100,000 people. Here's a refund,
I get that that's never going to happen.
Right.
But when you are this band and you have a very viable alternative that will work for this one show,
to us,
you don't trot to 99% of the people that won't notice. You trot out, you do your best to give the best show, not trot out the guy and do a shit show.
Dude, the average fan wants to see the lead singer, and even if the lead singer isn't doing great, they'll accept it. I mean, this is all full circle, going back to the David Lee Roth crap we were talking about. And dude, like, again, you keep looking at it from the perspective of you and I, but you and I are like... I can't say you and I don't want to. You're in the business, okay? I'm on the fringes of the business, so we know these things. And I would want to. If you and I were watching Journey right now, and Arnell's like honking like a fucking goose, you and I would both look at each other and go, "Oh man, let's fucking. Why don't they let Dean sing?" But it's you and I. You know shit. I know a little bit of shit. Like, it's a different thing. The average fan is going to go, where's the fucking lead singer? Who the fuck is singing? What's going on? Like, and especially, again, with Journey, it is so lead singer driven.
I understand. But I honestly, you want to know what I think the reason is that they didn't do that? And I don't think it's any of the reasons that we've put up there.
Okay.
I think it's as simple as Dean doesn't know the cues.
Well, he doesn't know the cues. Well, then why did he have well, that actually goes right back to my point about why he had a fucking teleprompter for "Don't Stop Believing."
I just think these guys. I think these guys are lazy, and they didn't say, "Okay, this is what we're gonna do. Let's work it. Let's work it through backstage, or tonight, the night before, or whatever." Because Arnell is fucked. I think, and again, I'm not trying to say that they should replace Arnell or that he's never allowed to have a bad night or any of that shit.
Right.
I'm saying that I don't want to hear from other musicians that have nothing to do with Journey trying to counsel me as a fan like I'm some dummy that doesn't know anything. Fuck you. You're not that smart either. You're singing somebody else's songs. So shut the fuck up.
Again, I see two sides to that. Number one, I completely agree with you on that. Like, don't fucking tell me what I should and should not accept. But the other side of it is, because they are all singers, they are going to defend their own. Yeah, they're going to go because they know what he's going through. Like,
but they don't need to, because you know what I'm going to do now? I'm going to watch for a Queensryche with a bad note. Now I'm on that tip, because clearly he's telling me how I'm supposed to watch fucking music, and you know what? I don't agree, so I'm going to watch his music the same way.
Well,
he's lucky that he's a goddamn star. And again, I know he's great. I'm not trying to shit on Latore as bad, or I know he's amazing. I've seen it too. He's fucking amazing.
Yep.
But I don't need him telling me how to fucking react to something else. Shut your fucking mouth. You're not in that band. You don't know anything. You don't know why Arnell had a bad night. You don't. He doesn't know that Arnell wasn't out partying and fucking hookers the whole night before. He didn't know that.
True. That's a very good point.
So why is he fucking offering anything? There's two guys on this planet I would accept it, or maybe three. I would accept some knowledge from. Steve Perry,
Steve Augeri,
and Jeff Scott Soto.
Yep. Yeah.
That's it. Guys that have been in that band at the biggest level and know. Anybody else, shut the fuck up.
Yeah.
Simple as that.
No, I mean, you're not wrong. It's just
damn right I'm not wrong. I'm never wrong.
Eat my ass. Dude, it's just, I mean, again, I see it from both sides. And as a singer,
that's why you're half blind, dickhead.
I'm not half blind. I'm not my wife. Love of God.
She's
although actually
blind.
if I keep going, I'll have bigger tits than her. But yeah, dude, I don't know. I'm a fat bastard, as you well know.
She's got lovely fucking bags, though. Jesus.
Yes.
50 years old and she's got 20-year-old tits. Jesus.
Dude, I don't know. They're about 40 after the mileage I put on those fuckers. Anyway, yeah, I mean, I get what you're saying, but you know, singers are going to protect their own. I mean, it's just a thing with singers, dude. Like, we always look at each other and go, you know, oh man, well, I get what you're going through. Like, I can understand that, this, that, and the other. I mean, you know, that's why a lot of people don't get Vince Neil's back, because he's not actually trying to sing.
Right.
You know what I mean? I mean, he's just not. People are like, he's just fucking honking like a goose. He's doing the Dr. Hee-Haw shit, and you know, and that's why earlier we talked about Doc, and that's why I defended it. I was like, look, yeah, is he only singing the lowest note possible? Yeah, but at least it's on pitch. He's trying to hit something. He's hitting harmonies. Yeah. So there's effort there, you know? So, I mean, singers are going to get singers back to, because it's the most difficult thing you could possibly do in a band.
I don't
drummer,
disagree.
bass player, I mean, so.
I don't agree. I do not disagree. It is the most difficult thing. You know what the second most difficult thing is? Paying the fucking prices of these goddamn tickets.
Yes.
So fucking show me a good show.
Well, I mean, yeah, you're not wrong. I mean, dude, like we said earlier, I spent $600 on a pair of seats for Radio City Music Hall, and I love James LaBrie. He and Sammy Hagar are my favorite vocalists ever. And I know that James has completely and honestly admitted, he's like, dude, I can't sing the shit I did before. So I'm hitting low notes and stuff. So Penske, Steph and her boobs and everything. That's actually the whole reason why Akin and she are best. Akin and she are best friends.
I've seen them.
And I was a piece of shit, and they're best friends, and the story goes on and on and on.
I've seen them several times, actually.
I didn't want to hear it. I'll get in mad amounts of trouble about even you saying that. I still hear about that to this day. Oh, I'm not gonna send you nudies because you fucking sent it to all your friends, especially Akin. I'm like, I didn't do that.
Whatever. She fucking posed for him when she was getting her tits signed by Steel Panther. She was like, "Here, take pictures." She literally had me taking pictures of her tits when the Steel Panther guys were signing them. She needs to stop it.
That never happened.
It did happen.
Not according to her.
Please. Do we need proof of that? I could probably find some proof of that.
There's probably a lot of proof.
All right, we're done. We're done.
Yeah.
Enough rambling. We're done. We gave you enough. We gave you the whole show. Considering and I had told John, I was like, about 1 o'clock we'll probably call it a day.
I know, right?
Fucking 3.
So basically, we've given them 2 hours of bonus time.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yep.
Pretty much. We gave him a good show. This was fun. Somebody
I thought
liked
it was great.
Where's it at? This one. Awesome show. Look at that. Awesome show.
Yep.
Well, we'll go back to doing shitty shows next week because Neely will be back. And those of you that hate when me and him are together can hate us again.
Yep.
You hear that, CMS fan group?
Hey,
Neely will be back next week for you to hate on us instead of probably hated on me and you. But
I would like to do 15 seconds of bonus time and just reiterate the fact that Jason Lundgren and Chad or Nate DeBassi and fucking Jason Lundgren can go fuck themselves. Take your little fucking fan group and go fuck yourselves right up the fucking ass. And you know, because those cunts aren't listening, because if they were, they might have been in the we could have brought them on the air.
I don't give a shit.
I would have. I'd be like, all right, you fucking asshole, you got something to say? Let's go.
Give a
just
shit.
And I give Barden all the credit in the world for coming on earlier, so that was cool. But all those 3 fucking dildos wouldn't come on. And you know why? Because they're too busy posting Squidward fucking docking memes about Neely. So
whatever, doesn't matter. All right, we are going to wrap this up with some Rock in Rio.
Yes.
But from the Scorpions,
I'm coming home.
Yeah, we'll wrap it up for that. So Neely will be back next week. John, give the plugs for your fine shows.
No problem, dude. Thanks for having me on, man. Appreciate you. And all you guys in the chat and everybody listening, thanks for dealing with my dolphin ass. Nerf Herder Council. We are live every other Wednesday at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. NerfHerderCouncil.com, all those good fine places. Talking into Infinity, a Dream Theater-centric podcast.
Barely.
I said centric, you dickhead.
Barely Dream Theater-centric.
Oh, stop it.
You should call it a Van Halen-centric podcast lately.
Can I get to my plugs, please? I mean,
go ahead.
Jesus Christ, shut up, Chris. This is my show. Anyway.
And that,
right. So Talking Into Infinity, a Dream Theater-centric podcast. Every other Thursday at 7:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time at talkingintoinfinity.com, the CMSnetwork.com, CMS Rumble page, all those great places. Thank you, Akin, for having us on. Nerf Herder Council, Talking Into Infinity. If you like nerd shit, if you like Dream Theater and metal and stuff, go check those out. And much love to all you guys, Demon, Jim Bartek, all you guys in the chat and everything. And Akin, thank you very much for asking me to come on, dude. It's a fucking blast to always do this with you, man. So,
and as for me, you guys know where I'll be, so fuck off.
All rise. The gavel is struck, and for a limited time, the Classic Metal Show is unleashing a rare collection of Judge Akin merchandise. If you stand with the bold rulings of your favorite metal judge,
Now is your chance to show it off. From water bottles to t-shirts, these exclusive items won't last long. Get to cmsstore.cmspn.com and claim your Judge Akin gear before the court is out of session. Court is adjourned.